For the last time this season, hello and welcome to Pioneer Park in Greenville, Tennessee, as the Flyboys get set to host the Johnson City Doughboys on Fan Appreciation Night here in the Appalachian League. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Nick Rotocap with you on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Greenville is getting ready for its final home game, which I can't believe is true, but it is. This is home game number 22 of 22 in the Appy League regular season for the Flyboys. Greenville is 24-19 entering this game, locked into second place in the Appy League West. At this time, 48 hours from now, the Flyboys will be in Kingsport taking on the Axemen in the Appy League West championship game to determine which team represents this division in the championship game on Friday night. But first, we've got a home-and-home series with the Johnson City Doughboys to take care of. And the Flyboys facing off against the Doughboys here tonight for the sixth time this season. These teams love offense when they face each other. They've combined for nearly 20 runs per game in their first 5 meetings. So we'll see what the Bats have in store tonight. We'll give you the lineup first for Johnson City. The Doughboys are managed by Dave Anderson. They enter the game 21-23, tied for third place in the Appy League West. And they've got Caleb Gibson in center field leading off. Braxton Baird is at third base, batting second. Nate Connor is the designated hitter. He bats third. Trey Majette is the first baseman. He's batting cleanup. Derek Mitchell in right field, batting fifth. Batting sixth in left field is Landon Smeltzer. Behind the plate is Cameron Dubé, batting seventh. Logan Fife is at second base, batting eighth. And batting ninth for the visitors is Dane Morrow, the shortstop. The Flyboys, 24-19, 5 games out of first place in the Appy League West. The Kingsport Axemen, 30-15. They have already locked up the best record in the league. The Flyboys are managed by Jack Wilson. Reed Hare is back in the lineup. He's in center field leading off tonight. Jace Patton is at second base, batting second for Greenville. Batting third in left field is Ezra McNaughton. The third baseman batting cleanup is Cameron Kim. Danny Wallace in right field, batting fifth. Batting sixth at third base is Dylan Jackson. TJ Adams, the designated hitter, bats seventh for the Flyboys. Batting eighth behind the plate is Brady Francisco. And batting ninth at shortstop is Tyler Inge. An interesting pitching matchup here in Greenville tonight. The Flyboys will go with Keenan Mork. Just announced his commitment to Florida Gulf Coast University. Mork is usually the Flyboys' closer. All 12 of his appearances have been in relief this season, but at lucky number 13, he is a starter for the first time. Mork in 13 innings this season has posted an ERA of 5.54. He's allowed 9 hits, 7 walks, and struck out 17 batters. Opponents hitting .200 against Keenan Mork. The Johnson City Doughboys will counter with another man making his first start in the Appy League in the penultimate game of the regular season. Right-hander Leighton Daly. Daly also making his 13th appearance. This is his first start of the season. He's worked 15 innings and posted an ERA of 7.2, allowing 8 hits, walking 16, and striking out 23 batters. Leighton Daly, a two-way player. Daly out of Chandler Gilbert Community College. So here at Pioneer Park on this Tuesday evening, the Flyboys and the Johnson City Doughboys getting set to meet at Pioneer Park in the final Flyboys home game of the regular season. Last weekend, the Flyboys played 3 games in 24 hours against the Elizabethton River Riders. And although Greenville lost 2 of those 3 games, the Flyboys did what they had to do in the series opener, winning 8-7 to clinch the second and final playoff spot in the Appy League West. So Greenville will head to Kingsport, and we're keeping our eyes on the weather, but the Flyboys will head to Kingsport to take on the Axemen on Thursday. And the East playoff semifinal is not yet set in stone. The Burlington Sock Puppets have clinched the division, so they will host, but it will either be the Bluefield Ridge Runners, who begin in second place prior to action tonight, or the Pulaski River Turtles, who enter in third. The Ridge Runners and the River Turtles are playing head-to-head in the final 2 games of the regular season. Pulaski has to win both games against Bluefield. Bluefield just needs one of the next 2 and the Ridge Runners will head to Burlington to take on the Sock Puppets on Thursday. The winner of that game will take on the winner of Greenville and Kingsport in the Appy League Championship game in Johnson City at TVA Credit Union Ballpark on Friday night. But we've got weather in the area, at least that's what it looks like for Thursday, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on. Hopefully we're able to play that game and get it done at a reasonable hour. Coaches are meeting at home plate, so we will take a quick break. Be back with first pitch between Greenville and Johnson City in the final home game of the season for the Flyboys. You're listening to Greenville Flyboys Baseball on the Flyboys Baseball Network. It's the final home game of the season for the Flyboys in 2025. Welcome inside Pioneer Park in Greenville, Tennessee, where the Flyboys are getting set to take on the Johnson City Doughboys to begin their final series of the regular season campaign. Nick Rodecap with you on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening. It's hard to believe that at this time next week, the season is going to be over, but that is where we find ourselves. The Flyboys playing in game number 44 tonight. This was supposed to be game number 47, but the rain had other plans. So the Flyboys, 5 games over 500 at 24-19 on the season, mixing things up on the mound. But I suspect that what we have in the field tonight is very similar to what the Flyboys will put out on Thursday in the Appy League playoffs against Kingsport. Keenan Mork gets his first start of the season for Greenville. Mork joined the Flyboys by way of Notre Dame, but he's off to Florida Gulf Coast in the fall. Just announced his commitment a couple of days ago. Mork has usually been the Flyboys' closer. In fact, he nailed down both games against the Bristol State Liners in Johnson City late last week. Don't know how long Mork is going to go on the mound. Keep in mind, with the postseason coming up immediately after the end of the regular season, that everybody's got to be a little bit careful when it comes to innings, because you want to make sure that your A-list arms, and Mork is included in that bunch, are on schedule to face the league's best offensive team in the Kingsport Axemen. Mork making his 13th appearance of the season. He's got an ERA of 5.5 in 13 innings. 9 hits, 7 walks, and 17 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .200 against Keenan Mork, and he's one of the more efficient pitchers the Flyboys have on their roster. Mork averaging 17 pitches per inning, which is 4th among all Flyboys pitchers to take the ball this season. Greenville and Johnson City love hitting against each other. These teams have scored over 19 runs per game combined in each of the first 5 meetings. That includes the Flyboys beating Johnson City 19-1 and 16-12 on back-to-back nights just over a month ago. Johnson City leads the season series 3-2, however, after sweeping a 3-game set in the first 3 days of July. The Doughboys will be led off by the center fielder, Caleb Gibson. He is followed by the third baseman, Braxton Baird. And Nate Connor, the DH, is due up third in this inning. Keenan Mork is ready, which means first pitch is just seconds away. The right-hander facing the right-handed batter, Gibson, works his motion, and the first pitch is in there at the knees for a strike. We're underway at 7:04 local time. This is Fan Appreciation Night here in Greenville, so the crowd filling out pretty nicely. I'm sure some fans will arrive in the coming minutes as well. 0-1. Line toward the right side. This ball's headed toward the corner, but it sinks foul. Just out of the reach of Danny Wallace in right. It's quickly 0-2 on Caleb Gibson. I don't know that Keenan Mork is going to start on Thursday against the Kingsport Axemen in the Appy League West Championship game, which is a semifinal in the Appy League playoff. 4 teams, single elimination. Those games being played in the 2 days immediately following the end of the regular season. 0-2 on Gibson. He's just 5 for 15 on the season. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Brady Francisco is the Greenville catcher this evening. Cameron Kim over at third base. Tyler Inge and Jace Patton in the middle, shortstop and second base respectively. And Dylan Jackson is at first. Ezra McNaughton, Reed Hare, and Danny Wallace in the outfield left to right for Greenville. Here's another 0-2 to Gibson. Fastball misses outside. That one was on the outside chalk, probably about a foot off the plate. Another warm evening here in Greenville, as is customary. 1-2 on Gibson. And Mort comes back. Gibson takes outside. That might be the worst missed strike call we've seen all season. That was a fastball just off the middle part of the plate, right around thigh high. Keenan Mork thought it was strike 3, but home plate umpire Trey Neville thought otherwise. 2-2. Breaking ball chopped weakly up the middle. This is going to be a tough play. Mork charges off the mound, and he's got no chance. So Caleb Gibson, after watching what probably should have been strike 3, hits a swinging bunt in front of home plate that bounces a mile high, and Keenan Mork had no chance to throw onto first in time. And I think Mork may have hurt himself. Chris Lanker, the Flyboys trainer, is coming out of the dugout, as is the pitching coach, Jared Morton. And Mork he had his hands on his knees as he got back to the mound. It looked like he stopped himself rather awkwardly on the infield grass, just left of home plate. And this is exactly what you were hoping would not happen in these final 2 games of the regular season, where the Flyboys have nothing to play for with respect to their postseason fate. That has already been sealed. They are locked in second place. But Mork is talking to Lanker and the pitching coach, Jared Morton. Looks like he's favoring his lower half. Credit Gibson with an infield hit. But again, he watched what should have been strike 3. Yet somehow that pitch was not called a strike. It was a fastball right down the middle. So Mork getting some warm-up pitches in here. And at least judging by that one, he looks okay. So that's a quick meeting between the trainer and the pitching coach and Keenan Mork. Leadoff man aboard on an infield hit. And here's Braxton Baird, the third baseman. 0-0 our score, just underway in the top of the first. Braxton Baird, another late season addition to this Johnson City roster. Out of Milligan University, not too far from here in Greenville. Gibson off of first, held on by Dylan Jackson. Keenan Mork sets at the belt. Left-handed batter Baird waiting. Here's the pitch. A tapper to the right side, chance for 2. Patton up with it to second for 1. No return throw to first. But it is a fielder's choice to retire Caleb Gibson. Score at 4-6. As Baird trades places with Gibson. And the batter now is Nate Connor. Connor's had a good season here in the Appy League. He's the designated hitter tonight. But Connor hitting 311 with an OPS of 840 this season. Mork sets, and the pitch. Fastball on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Game time temperature here in Greenville, 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies. In the twilight hours, the batter's eye and the outfield are in the sun. The mound and the plate are both in the shade. And the 0-1 to Connor. Breaking ball misses in the dirt, blocked by Francisco. Johnson City does not run that much relative to the rest of the league. The Doughboys have stolen 63 bases in 44 games, which, despite what it sounds like, that's only 7th out of the 10 teams in the Appy League. 1-1 on Connor, right on left. And the pitch from Mork. Fouled away toward the third base side. It's 1-2. But Johnson City picks its spots very well. The Doughboys have been thrown out just 5 times attempting to steal bags this season. 63 for 68. 93%. 5 caught stealings, the fewest by far of any Appy League team. Bluefield is next with 11, but the Ridge Runners have only stolen 46 bases. 1-2 on Connor. And a pickoff move to first. Baird dives back in without a tag. The Flyboys are wearing their cream-colored home uniforms for the final time in the regular season. Flyboys across the front in capital navy blue letters, outlined in red and white. They've got red caps and cream-colored pants as well. 1-2 on Connor. Here's the pitch. Connor hits a line drive to center field. That ball is down for a base hit. Baird is thinking about going first to third, and he will do so without a throw. from Reed Hare. Johnson City is in business. Men on the corners with one away in the top of the first. And Trey Majette, the cleanup hitter, steps in. Johnson City with some interesting lineup construction here this evening. The Doughboys are stacking their left-handed bats. Majette, a switch hitter, will bat left-handed here. 5 consecutive batters, beginning with Braxton Baird in the number 2 spot. Either left-handed or switch hitters. Men on the corners, one away. Mork in a tough spot. The pitch to Majette. Checks his swing on a breaking ball. He went around. It's 0-1. Majette hitting over 350 with an OPS of 953. Just shy of 200 points above league average. Nate Connor at first base. Only 3 swipes for him so far this year. A pickoff move to first, and he dives back in without a tag. The infield hit from Gibson started the game. And then Braxton Baird grounded into a fielder's choice. Nate Connor singled as Baird went first to third. Johnson City threatening here early. Mork already up to 12 pitches. One away in his first start for the Flyboys. The 0-1. Majette handcuffed on a good breaking ball. It's 0-2. A tight slider from Mork that started on the inside part of the plate. Ended up near the back foot of the left-handed hitter, Majette. He and Derek Mitchell are both switch hitters. Baird, Connor, and Landon Smeltzer, in addition to Dane Morrow, all left-handed batters. Dave Anderson really making the matchups difficult here for Flyboys pitchers. 0-2 on Majette. And the pitch from Mork. It hit him on the leg, and that loads the bases. So early trouble here for Keenan Mork. That infield hit where it looked like he may have tweaked something in his leg. And now the bases are loaded for Derek Mitchell.
Now batting number 55, Derek Mitchell.
Scoreless in the top of the first, one away. Majette at first after the hit by pitch. He's okay down there. Nate Connor at second and Braxton Baird over at third base. Johnson City looking to break this scoreless tie. Derek Mitchell out of Austin Peay. He's a switch hitter. 6'3", 200 pounds. Batting from the left side. Corner infielders. Dylan Jackson actually is the only one who's in. He's in front of the runner at first base. And Mork steps off. This is a double play situation where you could turn 2 without allowing a run and end the inning. But with Dylan Jackson in at first, anything hit to the right side is going to be trouble. Mork is set. Here's the pitch to Mitchell. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Right at the knees as Mork looks for the double play. Flyboys have been good at turning double plays this season, 38 of them. In the upper half of the league, Kingsport leads the field with 44. Here's the 0-1. Slider on the outside corner. That's a perfect pitch. It's 0-2. Right at the knees. Mitchell, don't think he liked the call very much, judging by his body language. But a good job by Mork of attacking the zone after the hit by pitch. Strikeout would be nice. Right-hander looks at third. And here's the 0-2. Low and away, it gets past Francisco, takes a wild carom toward first, and the Doughboys take a 1-0 lead on a wild pitch. Baird crosses home plate, and everybody else moves up. Connor over to third, Majette to second, 1-0 Johnson City. And it's been an interesting season with respect to the home-road splits for the Flyboys. Greenville is under 500, 10-11 at home this season, 14-8 on the road. Somewhat puzzling. Double play out of order after the wild pitch. Men on second and third. The 1-2. In the dirt again. Francisco blocks it this time. He didn't really have a chance to block that last pitch from Mork that got past him. It was in the other batter's box, and it bounced well in front of home plate. There was not really anything that Francisco could do back there. Derek Mitchell, 5 for 21 on the season. A couple RBIs for him, hitting just under 240 at 238. 2-2. Mork needs a punch out here. Here it comes. A tapper up the middle. This will score the run. Tyler Inge cuts it off from shortstop. And a running throw is in time to get Mitchell. But Connor scores from third base, and it's 2-0 Johnson City here in the first. Trey Majette to third on the play as Mitchell picks up his third RBI of the season.
Now batting number 11, Landon Smelser.
Good job by Johnson City of just putting the ball in play, taking advantage of that wild pitch. A man at third, 2 gone in the first, 2-0 Johnson City, and the batter is Landon Smelser. Smelser has been with the Doughboys since opening day, or at least much longer than have some of the other guys in the lineup tonight. Smelser takes outside. It's 1-0. But at this point in the Appy League season, you've got a lot of guys who have departed. So teams look to fill the rosters. Smelser out of Tennessee Tech playing in his 15th game tonight. 1-0 with the man at third. Here's pitch number 21 of the inning. Smelser breaks his bat, fouls it off toward third. He's going to need a new piece of lumber before the 1-1. This is kind of what we expected as far as offensive output. Greenville and Johnson City, in their 5 meetings so far this season, have averaged just under 20 runs per game combined. And it's always chaotic when these teams get together. I think that's the lightest way to put it. Johnson City swept the Flyboys at the beginning of this month, winning 12-5, 13-5, and 9-6. The Flyboys beat Johnson City in mid-June, 19-1 and 16-12. That latter game took almost 5 hours. 1-1. Smelser takes a breaking ball at the knees. It's 1-2. Mentioned that Keenan Mork has been efficient, averaging 17 pitches per inning, but he's up to 22 in this first inning with 2 runs home. 1 on a wild pitch, 1 on an RBI ground out from Derek Mitchell. The 1-2 to Smelser, fouled away over the third base dugout. Johnson City in its black tops with Johnson City across the front in white. A tan line above and below. Gray pants and black batting helmets. Black hats as well for the visitors. Mork looking to end this inning. Get the Flyboys back in the dugout. Here's the 1-2 to Smelser. Swinging another soft grounder up the middle. Mork off the mound to field it. The throw to first is in time to get Smelser, and that's the inning. Johnson City scores 2 in the first. A wild pitch and a ground out after a half. 2-0 Johnson City over Greenville on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the first inning here at Pioneer Park. Johnson City out to an early 2-0 lead. Both of these starting pitchers towing the slab for the first time this Appy League season. And Johnson City's Leighton Daly has some early run support. It'll be Reed Hare, Jace Patton, and Ezra McNaughton. Left, right, left in the Flyboys order, getting set to face the righty Leighton Daly. Reed Hare stepping to the plate after nearly a week out of the starting lineup. Hare back in there at the top tonight. First pitch from Daly. Fastball misses head high to the left-handed batter, Reed Hare. Hare settling in. 284 on the season. 1-0 pitch. A fly ball toward left center field and shallow. Sprinting in are Landon Smelser and the center fielder, Caleb Gibson. Smelser, the left fielder, makes the catch. And that's out number 1. Jace Patton stepping to the plate next. Patton has been fantastic for Greenville as of late. His performance in the second game of Saturday's doubleheader at Elizabethton, one of the best single-game performances we've seen by any Flyboys player this year. Patton hit 2 home runs in that game. Here's the pitch from Daly. A fastball in there for a strike, including a game-tying 3-run homer in the top of the 7th. All doubleheader games are 7 innings. With 2 away, the Flyboys were down to their final out. Patton tied it with his second homer of the game. He finished the night with 5 RBIs. 0-1. Fastball misses up and away. And then after hitting that home run, Jack Wilson said, hey, go out to the mound and get us a shutdown inning, get this thing to a tiebreaker. Patton did exactly that, keeping Elizabethton scoreless in the final half inning of regulation. The 1-1. line foul toward first, and it's 1-2 on Patton. Patton has raised his OPS to .931 on the season while playing nearly every game. Patton's played now in 38 of 45, or 38 of 44, I should say. Patton's second among qualified Flyboys hitters, only trailing the man on deck, Ezra McNaughton. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Patton's gone on strikes. Daly went with a high slider there.
Now, batting for the Flyboys, number 24.
Bases empty, 2 gone. Johnson City leading 2-0 in the bottom of the first, and the batter is Ezra McNaughton. McNaughton had an absolutely fantastic month of June in which he hit 8 home runs and 1 Appy League Player of the Month. The pitch from Daly. He takes a strike. McNaughton's cooled off a little bit since then. At the end of June, he was flirting with a .400 batting average, and his OPS was over 1,350 through 21 games. McNaughton takes inside. It's 1-1. He's now down to a, and I say this sarcastically, pedestrian .338 batting average with an OPS of 1,150. 1-1. McNaughton takes a fastball in the inside corner, and it's 1-2. 11 homers and 41 RBIs. McNaughton leads the league in bombs. Kingsport's Cam Durnan up to 50 RBIs. 1-2 is in the dirt. Cameron Dubé is the catcher for Johnson City. Braxton Baird at third base. Dane Morrow, Logan Fife, and Trey Majette, shortstop to first base, respectively. Landon Smeltzer, Caleb Gibson, and Derek Mitchell left to right in the outfield. Here's the 2-2 from Daly. Breaking ball smashed, foul past first. Flyboys will make the return trip to Johnson City tomorrow. 7 o'clock first pitch from TVA Credit Union Ballpark. 2-2, Daly fires. Fastball misses shoulder high, and the counts run full on Ezra McNaughton. McNaughton, 36 walks this season to 31 strikeouts. If you can get that walk to strikeout ratio over 1-1, you're doing something right. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball popped foul behind the plate. That ball is out of play. But that trip to Johnson City is what Greenville is hoping will be the first of 2 visits to TVA Credit Union Ballpark this week. The championship game being played there on Friday. One day before 85,000 people show up to Bristol Motor Speedway for the Speedway Classic. 3-2 on McNaughton. Here's the pitch from Leighton Daly. Fastball misses inside. There's walk number 37 for Ezra McNaughton this season. Gives Cameron Kim a chance to hit. Man at first, 2 gone in the bottom of inning number 1. Johnson City leading Greenville 2-0. Cameron Kim has also been swinging a very hot bat, much like Jace Patton. Kim hit 2 home runs in Saturday's doubleheader against Elizabethton, one of which was a big homer that got the Flyboys back into the nightcap, gave them a chance to mount that late inning rally. The pitch. Kim takes a high fastball. Kim played his first 2 seasons at UCLA, transferring to Cal State Fullerton. He gave some of the other Flyboys players his UCLA gear. Micah Jordan was wearing a UCLA Bruins t-shirt the other day. The 1-0. Slider swung on and missed. It was low and outside. Kim couldn't keep the hands back. 1-1. McNaughton at first base with good speed. 15 steals on the season. Flyboys, 105 of 122 stealing bases. Second in the Appy League behind Tri-State. 1-1. Fastball misses up and away. Daly up to 17 pitches in this inning. This is his first start in 13 appearances. Much like Keenan Mork, Daly, 12 earned runs, 8 hits, 16 walks, an ERA of 7.2. The 2-1. Fastball way low and outside. Daly yanked that one. It's 3-1 on Cameron Kim. This is a dangerous spot in the Flyboys order. This is very much the lineup that Jack Wilson is likely to put together when the Flyboys play in the West Division Championship game in 48 hours. McNaughton, Cameron Kim, and Danny Wallace, all very dangerous hitters. The 3-1 pitch. Breaking ball in there for strike 2. That was a slider that ended up right over the middle of the plate. But Kim's body language told you that he was expecting a fastball there. McNaughton will go on this 3-2 pitch with 2 out in the inning. Daly looking to strand the 2-out walk and keep Johnson City's 2-0 lead intact. He's set. The runner goes. The 3-2. Breaking ball inside. Back-to-back 2-out walks from Leighton Daly. And now a chance for Danny Wallace, the Oklahoma State commit. He's been such a good late-season addition for Greenville. Wallace playing in his 12th game for Greenville here tonight. A homer, 7 RBIs, and an OPS of 792. And he's only 18 years old. He hasn't even played any college ball yet. Kim at first, McNaughton at second. Wallace steps in from the right side. Daly now up to 20 pitches, right at his season average, 20 pitches per inning. And here comes number 21. Fastball misses outside. A lot of these heaters from Daly are elevated and missing to his glove side. Sometimes it's tough for guys who are so used to being relievers making their first start. Sometimes the mental side just isn't clicking. A pause, and the 1-0. Fastball misses outside again. And that's where, again, it's either to his glove side or it's missing high. Daly missed inside to Ezra McNaughton a couple times. That tells you it might be a mechanical thing. So 2-0 on Wallace. He's got 3 extra base hits this season. Daly set, the pitch. Inside, the runners go, a delayed steal, and it's a successful delayed steal. McNaughton takes third, Kim to second. They stuttered, but now 2 in scoring position, and Daly a pitch away from loading the bases. 3-0 on Danny Wallace, with Dylan Jackson waiting on deck. Base hit now scores both of them. With the runner on second, infield shading Wallace to pull. 3-0. Fastball at the top of the zone for a strike. Wallace thought that was high, but that was right at the top of the strike zone. Daly wasn't missing by much with a couple of those high fastballs. If he brings it down just a tick more, it's a good pitch. Here's the 3-1. Wallace hits a line drive up the middle. Diving stop by Logan Fife. He gets to his feet and throws out Wallace to end the inning. That ball nearly hit Daly on the mound. Logan Fife made a diving stop behind second base. Took away what would have been a 2-run single from Danny Wallace. As we go to the top of inning number 2, Flyboys leave a pair, and it's 2-0 Johnson City over Greenville on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys to their bullpen as we begin inning number 2 here at Pioneer Park. Johnson City leading Greenville 2-0. Evan Kay takes the place of Keenan Mork. The Flyboys chopping the innings up over the next couple of days. I suspect this is going to be a bullpen game because Kay and Mork are both guys who Greenville will use against Kingsport on Thursday. So Evan Kay, the right-hander out of Stony Brook, on for the 16th time this season. An ERA of 3.5 in 20 2/3 innings pitched. He'll face the bottom third of this Johnson City order. Cameron Dubé, Logan Fife, and Dane Morrow. Here's the pitch from Evan Kay. Right-handed batter takes downstairs. 1-0 on Cameron Dubé. Dubé, the catcher for Johnson City. Another late season addition. 4 for 14 so far. The 1-0 misses inside, nearly clipping him on his white elbow guard. Jake Kennedy is up in the Flyboys bullpen. So Jack Wilson opting to use all the guys who the Flyboys will call on Thursday, as Dubé takes a 2-0 fastball for a strike. Trying to keep them fresh, but also, of course, not overextending them. Here's the 2-1 from Evan Kay. Breaking ball chopped up the middle, backhanded by Jace Patton, and the throw to first is in time to get Cameron Dubé. score at 4-3. Leadoff man is gone. Base is empty. One away in the top of the second. 2-0 Doughboys over Greenville. And here's Logan Fife. Fife, the Johnson City second baseman, has had a fantastic season across the board. The infielder out of Missouri State, hitting .323 with 32 RBIs on the season. Evan Kay is ready. Righty on righty. And here's the pitch to Logan Fife. Breaking ball misses in the dirt. But what Logan Fife has been able to do against the Flyboys is otherworldly. In his 5 games against Greenville this season, Fife is 12 for 23. 1-0. Breaking ball. A strike on the inside corner. He's hitting .522 against Greenville. An OPS of 1194 with 8 RBIs and 7 runs scored. Here's the 1-1. Fife gets hit on his front arm, and he's going to need a second to at least walk that one off. Kay got him with a fastball. It just popped out of his hand. Fife is favoring that left arm as he walks toward first. In some very obvious pain here. And it sounded like it got him on the wrist or on the forearm. But Fife tossed the bat aside right away, and he is in some pain walking past first base. And you just hope that Fife is okay because he's been so good for Johnson City, especially against Greenville. Dane Morrow will be the next to hit, but Fife is still being checked on out there. The first base coach, Larry Owens, and the Johnson City athletic trainer also over there. Fife is still favoring that left forearm, but it looks like he's going to stay in this game. So that is good news for Johnson City. Left-handed batter Dane Morrow stepping in. He's the number 9 hitter. Johnson City sent 6 to the plate in the first, scoring once on a wild pitch and then again on an RBI ground out. So Morrow steps in the lefty box. Fife off of first, still nursing that left forearm. The pitch. Evan Kay delivers a strike on the low outside corner to Dane Morrow. The infielder out of Tennessee. .270 with a pair of homers and 20 RBIs for him. He's almost got a Bryce Harper-esque stance in the lefty box. Here's the 0-1. Kay finds the low outside corner again. Took something off of that one. It's 0-2. Shadows blanketing Pioneer Park. The sun is trying to sneak through the clouds, but it's proving difficult. Kay fires. The 0-2 is slashed foul past third base. The game to keep an eye on in the Appy League right now is Pulaski versus Bluefield, because those teams are fighting for second place in the East and for the right to face Burlington in the East Division Championship game. Pulaski leads 1-0 in the third. Pulaski needs to win both of the meetings against Bluefield to close the season. 0-2. Morrow takes well outside. If Bluefield wins one of 2, then the Ridge Runners will face Burlington. But those games being played at Calfee Park in Pulaski. So that's going to be a very fun one. The third of 4 consecutive meetings between those two teams. The 1-2. Morrow strikes out swinging on a breaking ball. First strikeout of the game by either Flyboys pitcher so far. Men at first, 1 away in the top of the second. 2-0 Johnson City over Greenville. And the batter is the leadoff man, Caleb Gibson. Keenan Mork going just that 1 inning. 2 runs on 2 hits, no walks, no Ks. He threw 24 pitches, 17 of them for strikes. Gibson in the righty box, the pitch, fouled back. Evan Kay is not going to blow you away with velocity. That fastball at 85. But he locates well, and generally he gets a lot of weak contact, and that's where he thrives. 0-1 on Gibson. And the pitch. Misses off the outside edge. Just a little bit low. The Flyboys mentioned that they are better on the road than they are at home. 10-11 at home versus 14-8 on the road. And what really stands out is the way the pitching staff has struggled here at home. 1-1. Gibson hits a weak ground ball foul toward third. It's 1-2. The Flyboys at home have an ERA of 6.7, which is third worst in the league. But Greenville on the road, nobody's better. 4.8, which is the best ERA of any team away from home. Which is weird because I asked Flyboys pitching coach Jaron Morton about this, and he said Pioneer Park feels like a pitcher's park. Pickoff moved to first, and Fife is in there safely. That was one of the first things I noticed about it getting here in early June, is how cavernous the outfield looks. But the Flyboys pitching staff has allowed nearly 2 earned runs more here at home on a per-game basis. Gibson takes outside. Throw behind the runner at first is late.
Wake up, Blue!
Francisco tried that back pick with Dylan Jackson. Fife dove in just ahead of the tag. Looks like a pitch out there from Evan Kay. It was so far outside, it got Francisco into his throwing motion. With that righty in the box, he had a clear lane to first. You don't see many pitch outs in baseball these days. 2-2 on Gibson. Here's the pitch. Fastball spiked, and it's 3-2. Man at first, 2 gone in the inning. And on this full count, Logan Fife will take off. So Dylan Jackson no longer holding the runner. Jackson motioning to Kay and making sure, hey, don't pick off over here because nobody's going to be there to catch it. So Fife will hustle off on the pitch. Hopefully his left forearm is feeling a little better after the HBP. Gibson now 6 for 16 after his infield hit in the first. Runner goes. The 3-2 is downstairs, and that's ball 4. So a 2-out walk. First and second, 2 gone in inning number 2. Johnson City leading 2-0. And the batter is Braxton Baird.
Now batting number 69, Braxton Baird.
Baird reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Came around to score on a wild pitch. But Nate Connor and Trey Majette waiting in the wings, the heart of the Johnson City order. 2 of the 3 most dangerous men in this Doughboys lineup. Evan Kay does not want to face them with traffic on the base paths. Baird now 4 for 18 after hitting into that fielder's choice. Left-handed batter stepping in. It's into a crouch, an open stance. A little bit of waggle with the bat. Here's the pitch. Baird hits a ground ball up the middle, cut off by Evan Kay. He knocks it down, gathers, and throws to first in time to end the inning. Evan Kay strands a couple 2-out base runners. And as we go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 Johnson City over Greenville on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the second here at Pioneer Park, where Johnson City leads Greenville 2-0 in the final Flyboys home game of the regular season. Nick Rotocap with you on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Thanks so much for joining us on this Tuesday evening. Flyboys stranded a couple walks in the first. Leighton Daly still out there for the Doughboys. He'll face Dylan Jackson, TJ Adams, and Brady Francisco. 6, 7, 8 in the Greenville order. And we begin with the Flyboys first baseman out of Long Beach State. Leighton Daly's got a bright pink glove. The right-hander winds and deals. And Jackson takes up and in. Daly missing with the fastball. Opponents hitting just 151 against Leighton Daly entering tonight. The 1-0. He yanks the fastball outside, 2-0. The hits haven't been a problem for Daly. 8 hits allowed in 16 innings. The problem is that he's walked 16 guys. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Daly misses up and away with a slider, and it's 3-0. Johnson City as a team has really struggled on the pitching side this season. A team ERA of 7.1 as Jackson takes inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk. The third walk issued by Leighton Daly to the last 4 Flyboys batters. So now here's TJ Adams. Leadoff man aboard. Flyboys trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the second. But Johnson City, the problem is that even though the bats have been good, they haven't been able to keep pace with the pitching staff struggling just to prevent runs. The pitch to TJ Adams. Fastball misses outside. Johnson City scores 7 runs a game. That's 4th in the league. But when you have an ERA of 7.1, well, you can do the math. That's how you end up 2 games under 500. 1-0 on Adams. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. And Leighton Daly, it seems like a mechanical thing. There's a right-hander getting up in the bullpen for Johnson City. But it seems like, for him, every miss has either been high or outside to these right-handed hitters. A pause and the 2-0. Adams takes outside again. And when a pitcher is missing in the same spot over and over, generally you can point to something mechanical. Now, obviously, I'm not a pitching coach. I couldn't tell you what it is. As he sets and delivers the 3-0. Fastball misses outside. 4 straight heaters, all of them away to the right-handed hitter, TJ Adams. That's a 4-pitch walk. 8 straight balls to start the inning. And before Brady Francisco steps in, Johnson City's pitching coach, Reed Casey, will go out there for a word with his right-hander. Eight straight balls to start the inning, always a cause for concern. Flyboys trailing 2-0 here in the second. First and second with nobody away. Right-hander is up for Johnson City, and Jake Kennedy is ready to go in the Flyboys bullpen. Greenville may be using 9 pitchers in 9 innings here. Jack Wilson trying to keep everybody fresh, but at the same time making sure that they get their innings, they get their reps in a live situation. Just using these 2 games over the next 2 days as tune-ups for when Greenville goes to Kingsport. 7 o'clock first pitch on Thursday in the Appy League West championship game. Francisco in the righty box after the mound meeting. This might be a sacrifice situation. Here's the pitch. Francisco takes a slider outside. He did not square around there. Adams has good speed at first. Dylan Jackson at second has stolen 3 bases on the season. Adams with 12 on 14 tries in limited action as he joined the team late after coming over from Omaha. Arizona was in the College World Series. The 1-0. Francisco takes a fastball for a strike. That is the first strike in 10 pitches this inning from Leighton Daly. He's thrown 35 through an inning plus and just 13 strikes. 1-1 on Francisco. The difference between 1-2 and 2-1 is big. Here's the pitch. Francisco pops it foul over the first base dugout. It's 1-2. But you look at the league-wide walk rate. 6.7 walks per 9 in the Appy League. Johnson City, the worst of anybody as a pitching staff, 7.5 walks per 9 innings. The 1-2 to Francisco. Breaking ball fouled off at home plate. That's probably the best pitch Leighton Daly has thrown so far. That was a slider that ended up just off the low outside corner. Had Francisco out in front. But he got a piece. Flyboys have already executed 1 double steal. I wonder if Jack Wilson may try to start the runners again to stay out of the double play. Daly looking for the strikeout. He sets at the letters. And the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in. That one popped out of the hand of the right-hander Daly. 2-0 Johnson City. First and second, nobody away in the bottom of inning number 2. Bottom of the Flyboys order, looking to come through. Francisco hitting .225 on the season. OPS right around league average at 740. 15 RBIs for him. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. That's a perfect pitch from Leighton Daly. No argument from Francisco. He just froze on that one. Second strikeout for Daly. That's a big out. Because now a double play ends the inning. Before Tyler Inge steps in, the catcher Cameron Dubé goes out for a word with Leighton Daly. Inge is the number 9 hitter in the Flyboys order, but he is not your typical number 9 bat. He's been pretty productive. 25 RBIs this season. This is game number 45 for the Flyboys. See if Inge can at least give the top of the order a chance. First and second, one away. Flyboys looking to cut into this 2-0 deficit in the home half of the second inning. Daly sets, and the pitch. Inge gets hit right between the numbers with a fastball, and that loads the bases for the top of the order. Free bases, a big problem here for Leighton Daly on the mound. The Flyboys do not have a hit yet in this game, but they've already had now 5 base runners. It's one of the more puzzling starts I've seen for any pitcher facing the Flyboys. And before Reed Hare steps in for the second time in as many innings, Johnson City manager Dave Anderson making the slow walk to the mound and pointing to the bullpen. So we are going to see a pitching change here in the bottom of inning number 2. Bases loaded for the top of the order. And a right-hander jogging on to face Reed Hare. One away, 2-0 Johnson City, but Greenville is threatening. See if the Flyboys can come through next right here on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Johnson City goes to the bullpen in the middle of inning number 2. 2-0 Doughboys leading Greenville, but the Flyboys have the bases loaded after 2 walks and a hit by pitch issued by the starter Leighton Daly. Reed Hare, the Flyboys leadoff man, will come to the plate for the second time in as many frames. Xavier LeBron is the new reliever out of the bullpen for the Doughboys. A right-hander out of Harmony High School in Harmony, Florida. Just 18. He was born in February 2007. On for the second time this season. 2 1/3, 2 runs on 2 hits, 3 walks and 3 strikeouts in his only appearance for the Doughboys. So here comes Reed Hare. Tyler Inge at first, TJ Adams at second, Dylan Jackson at third. Right on left as LeBron inherited trouble here. The pitch to Hare. Fastball misses up and in. Xavier LeBron, a pitch away from ending the inning. The bases loaded and 1 gone. Double play gets you out of it unscathed. Reed Hare has one of 2 Flyboys grand slams this season. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Hare takes a fastball downstairs. Didn't miss by much, but it seems like home plate umpire Trey Neville is calling a hitter-friendly strike zone in this one. Hare hit that grand slam in the final game Greenville played in the month of June at Pulaski. Flyboys improved to 9 games over 500 that day. The 2-0. Fastball misses upstairs, ball 3. LeBron, I think, asking where that one missed. The last 2 have been close. I think the pitch before that last offering, you had a little bit of a more compelling argument. But now a pitch away from moving the tying run to third base. Here's the 3-0. Hare takes inside, ball 4. And Dylan Jackson is forced on home from third base. It's 2-1. Everybody moves up 90 feet. And this is really, really puzzling for Johnson City pitching. The Doughboys have now walked 5 Greenville hitters. The Flyboys still do not have a hit. 2-1 Johnson City. Jace Patton will hit with the bases loaded and 1 away. Patton homered twice on Saturday against Elizabethton. LeBron sets at the belt, takes a deep breath. Here's the pitch. Patton takes a fastball for a strike. That was 2 baseballs above the zone. Patton didn't like the call. And given the way this game has been umpired, I don't blame him. Hare at first after the RBI walk. RBI number 32 for him. LeBron sets. And the pitch. Patton swings and misses at a heater right down Main Street. It's 0-2. Hare at first, Inge at second, Adams at third. 1 run home in the inning already. But 5 walks and a hit by pitch allowed by Johnson City. Greenville, again, does not have a hit. Let's see if Patton can change that. 0-2. LeBron fires. Fastball nearly hits Patton in the head. Had to play limbo to get out of the way of that one. Leaning way back, testing his flexibility there. He staggered out of the home plate circle. Ezra McNaughton waits on deck. the league's home run king, though he's cooled off considerably in the month of July. LeBron sets. And the pitch. Patton chases a breaking ball in the dirt, and he's gone. You could tell he wanted to keep the hands back, but he made his decision to swing on that one, and that's a big strikeout for Xavier LeBron. Bases loaded, 2 gone in the second. Johnson City leads Greenville 2-1. Greenville's got the right man for the job at the plate, though. Ezra McNaughton stepping in. 1 run home in the inning on a bases loaded walk to Reed Hare. He's still at first, Inge still at second, and Adams over at third. McNaughton in the lefty box, crowding the plate. Here's the pitch. McNaughton fouls it back. It's 0-1. Flyboys have 2 grand slams this year. Hare has 1, McNaughton has the other. That was the 10th home run of the season for McNaughton as he hit a grand slam against the Danville Otterbots 2.5 weeks ago. Here's the 0-1. Backdoor curveball in there for a strike. It's a good pitch from Xavier LeBron. It's 0-2. He had thrown 8 fastballs in a breaking ball. Then that curve ends up at the top of the zone on the outside corner. Puts McNaughton in an 0-2 hole. And now the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. LeBron tried to double up there, but that was on the outside chalk. Ezra McNaughton among the league leaders. The OPS over 1150 after his walk in the first inning. LeBron inherited the bases loaded and 1 out. He's trying to strand him. Here's the 1-2. McNaughton takes up and in. Fastball missed about shoulder high there. The tying run at third base. With 2 away in the inning, everybody's off on contact, so McNaughton has a chance to clear the bases here because Reed Hare at first base has really good speed. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up foul over third base and out of play. Talked about it a little bit earlier, but the outfield here at Pioneer Park is cavernous. It's very deep. There's a lot of ground to cover out there. Do not want to work the count full if you're Xavier LeBron, because then the runners go on the pitch. That might be trouble. Here's another 2-2. Breaking ball fouled off at home plate. There's that hammer from LeBron just straight over the top. And McNaughton was able to just get a piece. 2-1 Johnson City. Bases loaded. 2-2 count on McNaughton with 2 away in the second. The Flyboys, 5 walks and a hit by pitch. They still do not have a base knock in this game. LeBron sets once again. Here's another 2-2. Up and away for ball 3. Ezra McNaughton has put together a couple really good plate appearances in this game. He's seen 7 pitches in this one. The count is full. So all 3 men will take off on the pitch. Adams will jog toward home plate, Inge toward third, and Hare toward second. See if McNaughton can drive one in the gap and bring everybody home. Ezra McNaughton got the day off on Sunday. Had a pinch hit triple in the nightcap on Saturday. The runners go. The 3-2 pitch. Up and away for ball 4, and we're tied. That is the 6th walk by a Johnson City pitcher. The Flyboys have tied the game at 2, and they have not hit a ball out of the infield since the first batter of the game. McNaughton picks up his team best 42nd RBI. And Cameron Kim steps to the plate now. We're tied at 2. Base is still loaded. Kim, 2 homers in the Flyboys' last 3 games. LeBron facing a tough right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. So Inge to third base. Hare to second. McNaughton at first. Cameron Kim with 21 RBIs now on the season. Joined the Flyboys about 2 weeks into the campaign when they went to Tri-State. Infield shading of the pull. Kim now with bright orange batting gloves for Cal State Fullerton. The 0-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Throw down to first. McNaughton dives in safely. It's 0-2 on Kim. When you think back to that plate appearance that McNaughton had, he got behind 0-2 and ended up battling, and he worked himself a walk. LeBron, 18 pitches out of the bullpen. He's recorded just 1 out. The 0-2. Fastball misses up and away. Again, this is where Johnson City has really struggled this season. The Doughboys will likely finish the campaign as the team with the highest walk rate in the Appy League. 7.5 walks per 9. Well, they're already up to 6 walks in less than 2 full innings. Most walks the Flyboys have worked in a game was 18. That was against Burlington. 1-2. Slider misses away. 2 baseballs off the plate. When borderline pitches aren't getting the call, that one certainly won't either. So now Kim going from 0-2 to 2-2. All 2s. A 2-2 game, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. 2-2 on Cameron Kim. LeBron from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Kim takes up and in. Ball 3. So back-to-back 0-2 counts become full. And once again, the runners will go on the pitch. This is one of the weirdest innings I have ever seen. 4 walks and a hit by pitch. And a pair of strikeouts. I'll tell you what, if you like 3 true outcomes baseball, well, all we're missing is a home run. The runners will go, all 3 of them. Here's the pitch. Kim takes in the dirt for ball 4, and the Flyboys have taken a 3-2 lead without once putting a ball in play in this inning. This feels like a travel baseball game right now. Cameron Kim picks up his 22nd RBI of the season. It's 3-2 Greenville here in the second. Alex Xavier LeBron has faced 4 batters out of the bullpen. He's walked 3 and struck out 1. Danny Wallace was the last guy to put a ball in play. Here he is. Fastball line to left. That ball is down for a base hit, the first of the game for Greenville. 1 run scores. Here comes McNaughton. He slides in safely. It's 5-2 Greenville in the second. Danny Wallace got a fastball right down Broadway, and he lined it to left, picking up RBIs 8 and 9 on the season. This has been such a strange inning. So weird. That's the first hit of the game for Greenville, and the Flyboys lead 5-2. So here's Dylan Jackson. Wallace aboard as he continues to swing it well for Greenville. And Dylan Jackson led off this inning with a walk. He'll hit for the 2nd time. First and second, 2 gone. The pitch. In the dirt, it gets away from Cameron Dubé, and both runners move up. Kim to third, Wallace to second on the wild pitch. But free bases abound in this inning. Flyboys leading 5-2. Wallace the 2-run single, but also 3 bases loaded walks issued by Johnson City. And again, this feels like something that you see in a travel baseball game. 1-0 on Jackson, couple in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Jackson pops it foul behind home plate. It's 1-1. This game started an hour and 4 minutes ago, and we are not even through the second yet. That also makes it feel like a travel baseball game. See if Jackson can push this one toward run rule territory. Infield shades him to pull. 1-1 pitch. Jackson, a big swing and a miss at a fastball. 1-2. It was a heater right on the outside black at 88 from Alex Xavier LeBron. The book is closed now on Johnson City starter Leighton Daly. An inning and a third, no hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Also a hit by pitch. It's one of the stranger stat lines you'll ever see. LeBron looking to strand a pair in scoring position. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses downstairs. That should have been strike 3. That's now 2 blown strike 3 calls in this game. That was right on the low outside corner, comfortably in the strike zone. But Trey Neville said nope. All the Johnson City infielders started toward the dugout. Here's the 2-2. Jackson strikes out swinging. Ball don't lie. So the Flyboys send 10 to the plate in the inning. 5 of them come around to score on just 1 hit. 3 bases loaded walks, and then a 2-run single from Danny Wallace. As we go to the third, 5-2 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Top of the third inning here in Greenville. 5-2 Flyboys over Johnson City. Evan Kay, the Flyboys reliever, out there for his second inning of work in what is likely a bullpen game for the Flyboys. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the Doughboys order. Here's the pitch to Nate Connor. Left-handed batter takes low and away from Evan Kay. Kay got some run support. The Flyboys had one of the strangest offensive innings we've seen in any game this season. 1-0 to Connor. A changeup in there for a strike. The Flyboys sent 10 to the plate. 3 scored on bases loaded walks. 2 on an RBI single from Danny Wallace. 1-1. A ground ball to short, fielded by Tyler Inge, and a line drive throw is in time to get Nate Connor. Leadoff man gone in the top of the third, and the batter is Trey Magette. Switch hitter batting left. But despite the Flyboys leading this game 5-2, Johnson City has 2 hits to Greenville's 1, which, again, is one of the weirder things I've seen in any Appy League game this season. Trey Magette hits the first pitch off the end of the bat, foul and out of play toward third. But the Flyboys have played some weird games this season. There's no question about it. One in particular that stands out in my mind was in Burlington a couple weekends back. 0-1 on Trey Magette. Here's the pitch from Evan Kay. Off speed, floats low and outside to the left-handed batter. But Evan Kay pitched in that game. Burlington averaging about 6 walks per 9 as Magette takes a breaking ball in there on the low outside corner. It's 1-2. Burlington walked 18 Greenville hitters. Flyboys won that game 17-5. Here's the 1-0, or excuse me, the 1-2. Misses low and outside. 2-2 on Trey Magette. But what was even weirder about that is that Greenville came back the next afternoon and got shut out 4-0 by Andrew Steinhaus. 2-2 outside from Evan Kay, and the count is full. Trey Magette was plunked his first time up. Johnson City scored a pair of runs in the first off of Keenan Mork, a wild pitch, and an RBI groundout. The 3-2 to Trey Magette. Swung on and missed as Kay got him to go fishing on an off-speed pitch. Second strikeout for Evan Kay. First 2 men retired in the top of the third. And the batter is Derek Mitchell, the switch hitter, digging in from the left side, much like Trey Magette. Mitchell delivered that RBI ground out back in the first. The pitch from Kay on the ground to the right side toward the hole and through into right field for a 2-out single. That wasn't hit all that hard by Derek Mitchell, but he picks up his 6th hit in 23 at-bats this season.
Now batting number 11, Landon Smelser.
No 1-2-3 inning yet for either side. Man at first, 2 gone. Greenville leading 5-2 in the third. And the batter is Landon Smelser, another left-handed bat. That pitch was hit on the ground pretty softly, but it got between Dylan Jackson and Jace Patton on the right side of the Greenville infield. So Smelser stepping it, an open stance in the lefty box. Here's the pitch. Kay misses outside with a fastball, 1-0. Elsewhere around the Appy League, the game that means the most by far, Pulaski beating Bluefield 1-0 in the 5th. The only game with postseason implications. And the 1-0. Breaking ball misses just high from Kay. It's 2-0. If Pulaski can win against Bluefield, then it would force a win or go home situation tomorrow where Pulaski and Bluefield would play for the right to go to Burlington and take on the Sock Puppets in the East Division Championship game. The 2-0. Smeltzer hits a pop-up foul over the third base dugout. It's 2-1. But elsewhere, Elizabethton trouncing Bristol 8-1 in the fourth. Burlington beating the Danville Otterbots 5-1 in the third. Kingsport 12-0 over Tri-State in the third inning. The Axemen, their offense has been otherworldly down the stretch here in July. The 2-1. Smeltzer takes a fastball at the knees. Good pitch from Kay. It's 2-2. Derek Mitchell, one of the late season additions to the Johnson City roster. He's over at first. Has not attempted a stolen base this season. Kay fires. Misses in the dirt. Mitchell thought about trying to advance, but retreats back to first base. Brady Francisco doing a good job keeping it in front. Full count, 2 outs. So Mitchell will take off on the pitch. See if the Flyboys can get out of here with 2 scoreless innings from Evan Kay. This will probably be his last inning. I'd imagine Jake Kennedy will come in for the 4th. Flyboys trying to keep their pitching staff fresh for Thursday. Runner at first will go on the pitch. He's almost halfway to second. There he goes. The pitch downstairs. Kay missed with the heater. Ball 4. Second walk issued by Evan Kay, and that brings the tying run to the plate here in the third.
Now batting number 75.
And Cameron Dubé stepping in now. Second time in as many innings that he digs in the right-handed batter's box. 5-2 Flyboys. First and second with 2 gone in the top of the third. Greenville scored 5 runs on 1 hit in the second inning. 3 bases loaded walks. And a 2-run single from Danny Wallace, the right fielder. Dubé in. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low and away. It's a big league strike zone tonight for Trey Neville, the home plate umpire, that's for sure. Usually in the Appy League, you'll get the calls on those borderline pitches, but that is not the case here tonight. 1-0 on Dubé. Runner dancing at second. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit weakly towards shortstop. Tyler Inge flips to second to retire Landon Smeltzer and end the inning. Evan Kay with 2 scoreless frames. And as we go to the bottom of the third, 5-2 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys sent 10 to the plate in the bottom of the second. We'll see what they have in store for us here in the third. 5-2 Greenville over Johnson City. It'll be TJ Adams, Brady Francisco, and Tyler Inge to face Johnson City's Alex Xavier LeBron, who got the final 2 outs of the second, but not before walking in 3 runs and allowing a 2-run single to Danny Wallace. Hits 3-1 in favor of the Doughboys, although the Flyboys lead by 3 runs. Adams in. Here's the pitch from LeBron. Fastball swung on and missed, and Adams is behind 0-1. You don't see many guys in any sport with a last name of LeBron. Here's the 0-1. Adams takes upstairs. Fastball missing from LeBron. But just the colloquial use of LeBron, of course, implies LeBron James, who many people see as the greatest player of all time in the National Basketball Association. 1-1. Adams out in front of a slider, and LeBron's got him behind 1 and 2. But, of course, we could get into an hours-long discussion about whether LeBron James or Michael Jordan is better. And I think it just depends on which era you grew up watching. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball misses high. But I do certainly think that Jordan is a much more common last name than LeBron is. So I feel like MJ wins in that department. The 2-2 to Adams. Fastball fouled over the screen. We'll do it one more time. TJ Adams walked and came around to score on one of those bases loaded walks last inning. Again, this has had the feel of a travel ball game so far. LeBron from the stretch with the bases empty. The 2-2. Fastball misses low and away. 34 pitches, 16 strikes for Alex Xavier LeBron. For Leighton Daly, Johnson City starter, 40 pitches, 16 strikes. So the strike percentage well under 50 for the Doughboys. Full count. Here's the 3-2. Adams takes inside, ball 4. And for Johnson City pitching, that is already the 8th walk, and we're only in the 3rd inning. And Johnson City pitchers, they average 7.5 walks per 9 innings, which is the worst in the league, but even still, already over that, and we're not even at 33% distance yet. Brady Francisco steps in. He struck out looking back in the 2nd, hoping to join the base runner parade. Man at first, the pitch. Fouled off at home plate. 7 of 9 Flyboys batters have already reached safely in this game. Francisco and Jace Patton, the only 2 who have not. They are a combined 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Only 1 ball has left the infield. It was when Reed Hare flew out to shallow left center. He was the first man retired in the bottom of inning number 1. Since then, every single ball in play has remained on the infield. Runner goes. The 0-1 is up and in. Throw down to second. The tag is not in time. And TJ Adams swipes his 13th base of the season. Should say every ball except for 1 because Danny Wallace had that 2-run single to left. But outside of that, there's only been 1 other ball put in play. It was a ground out to second base, also off the bat of Danny Wallace. So he's against 3 true outcomes baseball. Man at second for Francisco. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off toward first base. It's 1-2. But this has been a very puzzling game. Flyboys, 8 walks as an offense already. They've struck out just 4 times. It's weird. That's the best way I can put it. 1-2 on Brady Francisco. And LeBron deals. Breaking ball misses inside. Popped out of his hand. This is a game that's on pace to take, by my rudimentary math, about 4.5 hours. It's one thing if it's a back and forth slugfest, but this is just a case where Johnson City has nobody who can throw strikes. 80 combined pitches already, and we're in the 3rd inning. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Francisco's gone for the 2nd time. Man at second, 1 gone in the bottom of the 3rd. Flyboys looking to add to their 5-2 lead. Here's Tyler Inge. Inge finishing up his 2nd season here in Greenville with the Flyboys. And he has played in every single game, all 44, including tonight. Right-handed batter digging in. The runner goes for 3rd. The pitch, a strike. Throw down to 3rd base is well late. TJ Adams got a great jump. And he swipes his 14th bag of the season, turning that 1-out walk effectively into a triple. Or excuse me, the leadoff walk into a triple, I should say. Without a ball being put in play. That's what good base running can do. 0-1 on Inge. The infield is in. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air a mile high toward the left field corner. Long run for Smeltzer. Into foul ground he goes, and just in front of the brick wall, he makes the catch. Adams will tag and score from 3rd base. It's a productive out for Tyler Inge. A sacrifice fly, and the Flyboys now lead 6-2. Base is empty, 2 gone in the 3rd as Inge picks up RBI number 26 on the season. And hitting for the 3rd time in 3 innings is Reed Hare. So the Flyboys now leading 6-2. Johnson City out-hitting Greenville 3-1. I don't think you've seen that in any other Appy League game this season. Hare in from the left side. The pitch from LeBron. Hare squares to bunt, watches well outside, ball 1. That is just the 3rd ball in play that has left the infield for the Flyboys. 1-0 on Hare. Here's the pitch. LeBron misses in the dirt. I'm trying to imagine Because every time I say LeBron followed by the pitch, I think of LeBron James pitching. I'm trying to imagine what that would look like. LeBron James playing baseball. There are a lot of people who like to hypothesize about what it would be like for him to play football. That would be scary. The 2-0 to Reed Hare. Fastball in there for a strike. Alex Xavier LeBron, born well after King James' rookie season in 03-04. LeBron's been in the league longer than any of these players have been alive. Here's the 2-1. Hare takes a strike, a fastball in the high outside corner, 2-2. Some cloud cover here at Pioneer Park. The sun beginning to set. This will be one of the bigger crowds of the season. Only two I can remember bigger than this are opening night and the 4th of July. A 2-2 from LeBron. Fastball fouled back. We'll do it again. And if I were on Cubs radio with Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer, this is where I would say it's time to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. Now, I'm 21, so I can say that. Most of these players can't. But if I had to guess, I would say the attendance for tonight will be somewhere around 3,250. 3,250, mark it down. 2-2 on Hare. And Alex Xavier LeBron fires. Fastball in the dirt. Put that in writing just so I have something here. Flyboys up 6-2 in the bottom of the 3rd. Full count, 2 outs. Hare looking to give Jace Patton another chance. Here's the payoff pitch. Hare hits a line drive foul into the Flyboys bullpen. Nicky Satterley, the Flyboys bullpen catcher, just launched his mask up there trying to get it. But he came up with nothing. Hare a walk and a run scored. His walk forced in a run back in the 2nd inning. Flyboys took the lead on a bases loaded walk. Not his, though. Here's another 3-2. Hare fouls it back again. This is a good at-bat for him. That pitch would have been ball 4. It was about a foot off the plate, but Hare's saying, hey, what's another pitch, right? Alex Xavier LeBron is now up to 50 pitches, and he's recorded just 4 outs. Greenville really making him work. But it is a messy scorecard for the Flyboys, I'll put it that way. Full count on Hare. Here's pitch number 9. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball in the dirt. And Hare gives himself up. That's the inning. So the Flyboys add another run on a sac fly from Tyler Inge as we go to the 4th. 6-2 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys call on the bullpen as we begin inning number 4. Greenville leading Johnson City 6-2. And the Flyboys go to another one of their key arms as Drew Maddox takes over for Evan Kay. It'll be Logan Fife, Dane Morrow, and then back to the top for Caleb Gibson. The Flyboys, despite being out-hit 3-1, have a 6-2 lead. 3 bases loaded walks, a 2-run single, and a sac fly in the last half inning from Tyler Inge. So Maddox, the right-hander out of Tennessee Tech, will face Greenville's Achilles heel, Logan Fife. Right on right, here's the pitch. Breaking ball tied him up above the strike zone, and Maddox quickly ahead of Fife 0-1. But Logan Fife hit by a pitch his first time. So the numbers remain as they were. Here's the 0-1. Fife takes a high slider. It's 1-1. Fife hitting .522 in 5 games against Greenville this season. That HBP pushed the OPS closer to 1,200. 1-1. A slider, swinging bunt back to the mound. Maddox fields, and a low throw to first is received cleanly by Dylan Jackson. Fife is gone. Base is empty, 1 away in the 4th. 6-2 Greenville leading Johnson City. And the number 9 hitter, Dane Morrow, steps in from the left side. Mentioned that the meeting between Bluefield and Pulaski will determine, potentially, the final playoff berth if Bluefield wins. The Ridge Runners have rallied. Pitch to Dane Morrow, misses downstairs, and it's 1-0. Bluefield scoring 3 times in the 5th inning to take a 3-1 lead over Pulaski. If that result holds, I'll try again. 1-0 misses low and in. I was conflating river runners. I just did it again. Ridge runners and river turtles in my head. But if Bluefield holds on, then the Ridge runners would clinch the final playoff berth. Here's the 2-0 to Dane Morrow. He hits a high chopper toward the second baseman, Jace Patton. He fields on the run, and the underhand flip to first is in time to get Morrow. Nice footwork there from Jace Patton at his second base position. Couple of ground outs to start the fourth for Drew Maddox. Base is empty, 2 gone. We'll go back to the top of the order for Caleb Gibson. Flyboys leading 6-2. Maddox looking for the first 1-2-3 inning for either pitching staff in this game. Gibson in the righty box. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, jammed him, foul territory, first base side, a chance for Dylan Jackson, and the Flyboys first baseman makes the catch to end the inning. A 1-2-3, 7 pitch, top of the fourth for Drew Maddox. On to the home half, 6-2 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys leading Johnson City 6-2 as we go to the bottom of inning number 4. It'll be Jace Patton, Ezra McNaughton, and Cameron Kim. 2, 3, 4 in the Greenville order due up here. And the Doughboys go to a new pitcher. Their third in 4 innings here tonight. It's a bullpen game for both teams. Right-hander Eben Hansen will face Patton. Overhand fastball misses inside. Patton leans out of the way again. Jace Patton has struck out both times tonight. One of 2 Flyboys batters yet to reach safely. Greenville leading 6-2 despite having just 1 hit. 1-0 to Patton, popped foul and out of play over the first base side. The Flyboys scored 5 times in the second, taking a 5-2 lead with 3 bases loaded walks. And the lone hit, a 2-run single through the left side from Danny Wallace. Greenville added another last inning on a sacrifice fly. The 1-1. Way outside from Hansen. The right-hander, a native of Knoxville, Tennessee. This is his second summer in the Appy League. Hansen played for Bristol in 2023. Pitched in just 2 games for the State Liners. A 2-1 to Patton. Breaking ball swung on and missed. That one right at the top of the zone, got Patton to swing under it. And Jace Patton asked for time before the 2-2. This year for Johnson City, Hansen making his 5th appearance. 8 earned runs and 6 1/3. It's an ERA of 11.4, albeit in very limited innings. Looking to strike out Patton. Here's the 2-2. Patton gets jammed, hits it foul up the third baseline. Just got the bat to that inside fastball. Flyboys will be in Johnson City tomorrow at 7. That is the regular season finale. That is the regular season finale. And then hopefully the rain stays away from Kingsport because that is the West Division Championship game. Greenville and the Axemen at Hunter Wright Stadium on Thursday night. 2-2 on Patton. And Hansen delivers. Slow breaking ball misses outside. It's 3-2. So the book is closed on Johnson City reliever Alex Xavier LeBron. An inning and 2/3, 3 runs on 1 hit, 4 walks. All 4 outs he recorded were strikeouts, including one of Jace Patton. Full count, the pitch. Breaking ball hit in the air to straightaway center. Gibson sprinting back makes the catch, and Patton's gone as he lines out back up the middle. 6-2 Flyboys. Leadoff man retired in the home half of the 4th. And here's Ezra McNaughton. McNaughton's last home run, his 11th of the season, was right here at Pioneer Park 2 weeks ago against the Kingsport Axemen. That was a game where the Flyboys gave up 6 in the 9th. Here's the pitch. McNaughton, it's a high drive to deep center field. Gibson going back, he's out of room, and that ball is gone. Ezra McNaughton with his league best 12th homer of the season. It's his first in 13 days. which, if you can believe it, is the longest he had gone without a homer this season. 7-2 Flyboys in the fourth. So fitting for the home finale that McNaughton gets one out of here at Pioneer Park. Got a first pitch fastball low and in, and that is the happy zone for most left-handed hitters. McNaughton certainly no exception there. Home run number 12, RBI number 43 for Ezra McNaughton. Here's another power bat, Cameron Kim stepping to the plate. Hansen looking to rebound after that solo homer. The pitch. Kim takes downstairs. But Greenville, especially listening to the crowd on that homer, this is probably going to go in as the second largest crowd of the season behind the 4th of July. 1-0 on Kim. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses head high. Definitely put more of a buzz into this place. We go back to the 4th of July here at Pioneer Park. That was the last 9-inning home game that the Flyboys won. Here's the 2-0. Kim takes a slider for a strike. That game was played in front of 4,947 people. Pioneer Park's listed capacity is only 4,000. Flyboys won that game 12-4, and then Bluefield won each of the next 2 nights. 2-1. Slider grabs the inside corner. That was 2 baseballs off the plate, and Kim did not like the call. But you felt like Ezra McNaughton was due for one. And again, he's always due for a homer. 12 bombs on the season. Nobody else in the Appy League is in double figures. 2-2. Kim takes strike 3. Fastball right on the low inside corner. That's a good pitch from Eben Hansen. Nice job bouncing back after the McNaughton homer. And here's Danny Wallace. Wallace had the 2-run single in the second inning. Flyboys have made both of their hits count. A 2-run knock and a solo homer. Greenville up 7-2 despite being out-hit 3-2. The pitch to Wallace. Fastball in there for a strike. 90 miles an hour on the low outside corner. Paul Jones II for Kingsport has skyrocketed to second place. He's got 8 home runs. 0-1. Wallace takes high. Ryan Nedved has 7 homers. And then Jordan Crosland, Chris Daniels, and Cam Durnan all tied with 6. The 1-1. Wallace fouls it back. 1-2 on the Oklahoma State commit. But McNaughton with that homer, raising his OPS to over 1180. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses low and outside. McNaughton now at 1184 on the season, which would put him back in the league lead ahead of Kingsport's Cam Durnan. Durnan will likely be the Appy League Player of the Year. The 2-2. Wallace takes strike 3 on the high inside corner. A good fastball from Hansen as he punches out back-to-back batters, but Ezra McNaughton gives the Flyboys a little more breathing room with his solo homer. And as we go to the 5th, 7-2 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Flyboys 7, Johnson City 2 as we begin the top of the 5th inning here at Pioneer Park. Flyboys reliever Drew Maddox retired the side in order in the 4th, and he'll look to do the same here in inning number 5, facing Braxton Baird, Nate Connor, and Trey Majette, 2, 3, 4 in the Doughboys order. Left-handed batter, Baird stepping to the plate. Maddox winds and delivers. Baird squares to bunt, watches in the dirt. Maddox missed with a slider. Ezra McNaughton brought some life into this place with a solo homer in the 4th. Hit it out of here to dead center, 420 feet. Here's the 1-0. Baird takes low and outside. But hopefully that's a sign of good things to come for Ezra McNaughton in the postseason. Here's the 2-0. Baird takes a strike on the low outside corner. Because the Flyboys are going to need some of that offensive firepower when they visit Kingsport. The Axemen are up 16-0 on Tri-State in the 5th right now. 2-1. Baird bunts it down the third base side. This is a well-placed bunt. Cameron Kim has no play. It was a do-or-die play there, and Kim would have had to field on the run and turn himself into Nolan Arenado to have a chance at that. Probably wise that he did not attempt to play. Leadoff man aboard in the 5th, and the batter is Nate Connor. Johnson City trails Greenville 7-2. The Doughboys scored twice in the 1st. A wild pitch and an RBI ground out facing Keenan Mork. They stranded a pair of base runners in the 2nd and the 3rd, and then Drew Maddox retired the side in order in the 4th. Connor singled and came around to score his first time. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there on the outside black for strike 1. Seems like the strike zone has really opened up here in the last couple of innings. It was very hitter-friendly early on, but that has changed. That fastball was on the outside chalk. The 0-1. Connor hits it off the end of the bat toward right center field. This ball is down in front of Danny Wallace. Going first to third is Braxton Baird. He's in without a play. And Johnson City is threatening. Men on the corner is nobody away in the 5th. Nate Connor is 2 for 3. Now Trey Majette stepping in. Majette, the cleanup man for the Doughboys. A switch hitter batting lefty for the 3rd time in 5 innings. Nobody's up in the Flyboys bullpen right now, so it looks like Drew Maddox will try to give Greenville some length here. Maddox is ready. Here's the pitch to Majette. Slider finds its way to the top of the zone for strike 1. Good late bite on that pitch. Majette out of Jacksonville State. One of the more well-rounded bats you'll find in the Appy League this season. And the 0-1. Slider hit on the ground to second, a chance for 2. Patton to Inge for 1, on to first in time. The run scores, but all things considered, bases loaded, or excuse me, men on the corners, nobody out. You'll trade a run for 2 outs in that situation. 7-3 Flyboys. No RBI for Trey Majette. Mentioned that he will go into the books as one of the better hitters in the league this season. The OPS over 950. But Maddox gets him to bounce into a 4-6-3 double play. Braxton Baird scores on the play. Here's Derek Mitchell now. Bases empty, 2 away in the 5th. 7-3 Flyboys. The 1-0 pitch in the dirt. So 2-0 on Derek Mitchell. Switch hitter batting left. Flyboys building out some insurance, so they're okay with trading runs for outs. 2-0 to Mitchell, fouled off at home plate. That got a piece of Brady Francisco, the Flyboys catcher. Mitchell had a base knock back in the 3rd, facing Evan Kay. It's been a funky game to this point, really on all fronts. 2-1 on Mitchell. Here's the pitch. Slider swung on and missed. 2-2. Flyboys leading 7-3, despite now being out-hit 5-2. Johnson City's walked 8 and also hit a batter. 2-2 pitch. Inside and low. Maddox missed with a changeup, and the count runs full. Landon Smelser, another left-handed batter, waits on deck. Maddox takes a deep breath. And the wind, the 3-2. A ground ball towards shortstop. Tyler Inge is up with it. Steps into a line drive throw and retires Derek Mitchell to end the inning. Johnson City gets one back as the Flyboys turn a double play. Halfway home, Flyboys leading Johnson City 7-3 on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the 5th inning here in Greenville. The Flyboys leading Johnson City 7-3. It'll be Dylan Jackson, TJ Adams, and Brady Francisco here in inning number 5. Jackson hits a pop fly behind home plate, and that ball was into the screen for strike 1. Eben Hansen still out there. Hansen struck out a pair in the 4th, but he gave up a solo homer to Ezra McNaughton. And with that homer, McNaughton's 12th of the season, he has tied the Appy League single-season record for homers since the league was reestablished as a collegiate summer league in 2021. 0-1 on Jackson. The pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in. That pitch popped out of Hansen's right hand way too early. Jackson spun out of the way. You think about the postseason, the Flyboys are guaranteed at least 2 more games. 1-1 breaking ball misses inside to Jackson. So there's a chance McNaughton could take sole possession of the single season record. 2-1, here's the pitch. Upstairs, Hansen missed with a head-high fastball. Bluefield and Pulaski going back and forth. Pulaski tied it at 3 in the 5th. The Ridge Runners have retaken the lead, 4-3 in the 6th. 3-1. Jackson takes a slider. He thought it was ball 4, but it's on the low inside corner, and the count is 3-2. And remember, if Bluefield wins that game, then the Ridge Runners lock up the final playoff spot in the Appy League. If Pulaski wins, then the 2 teams would play for all the marbles tomorrow to determine who gets to visit Burlington. 3-2. Slider hit on the ground up the middle. Dane Morrow fields at shortstop. And a sidearm throw retires Dylan Jackson. 1 gone in the 5th. 7-3 Greenville over Johnson City. And the batter is TJ Adams, the Flyboys' designated hitter. Night skies have taken effect here in Greenville. See some heat lightning beyond left center field. And there is definitely a chance for real lightning in the coming days. Adams swings and misses at a high fastball. And I'm just hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that we will not have inclement weather in Kingsport on Thursday, because I really want to see the Flyboys and the Axemen go head-to-head. Adams takes up and in. It's 1-1. Because that's a battle between the league's best home offense and the league's best road pitching staff. Adams takes a breaking ball downstairs, 2-1. Adams, a pair of walks, a pair of runs, and a pair of stolen bases. Everything comes in 2s for him. 2-1. Line foul toward first base. It's 2-2. Crowd buzzing here at Pioneer Park tonight as the Flyboys look for their 25th win of the season. It would be just their 11th here at home. They've got 14 on the road. 2-2 from Hansen. Slider taken low and away. Brady Francisco, the Flyboys catcher, waits on deck. Back-to-back full counts for the Flyboys facing Eben Hansen here in the bottom of the 5th. The right-hander sets at the belt. Here's the 3-2. Slider misses inside, ball 4. I don't think TJ Adams knew it was ball 4. Now he goes down towards first. That is the 9th walk of the game by a Johnson City pitcher. 1 out base runner for Francisco. Greenville leads 7-3 in the 5th, despite being out-hit 5-2. You think back to Sunday, the Flyboys lost to Elizabethton 6-1. Greenville also had 2 hits in that game. The difference is the River Riders walked 4 guys instead of 9. Francisco in 0-for-2 with a pair of strikeouts. Pickoff moved to first. The speedy Adams is in standing. But I really, really hope, as far as Thursday goes, 1, there's no rain. But 2, if there is, and there's lightning that comes along with it, that the league does everything it can to get the game in. Right on right, the pitch to Francisco. Fastball misses up and away. I would really not be a fan of the Flyboys' season ending because they are the number 2 seed, going on the road to Kingsport, the 1 seed, and having the game get washed out, and then by virtue of being the higher seed, Kingsport advances. Pickoff move to first. Adams is in without a tag from Trey Majette, the left-handed first baseman. And I think if once you get to the playoffs, it's a cliche, but you can throw everything out the window. 1-0, the pitch to Francisco. Fastball misses upstairs. Shoulder high. Kingsport is really, really good, especially right now. The Axemen are on pace to run-rule Tri-State 16-0 in the 6th inning. Now, Tri-State will finish last place in the East. 2-0. Francisco takes high again. 3-0. And I really would love to see either Kingsport or Greenville face off against Burlington in the championship game. But I couldn't tell you which one of those teams is going to make it because they go about it in two different ways. 3-0. Francisco had the green light, swings and misses at a fastball at the top of the zone. So you think about good pitching versus good hitting. Usually, good pitching wins. On paper, you would think the Flyboys pitching staff would have the upper hand, but again, you wouldn't know unless we play the game. Pickoff move to first. Adams is in standing. Francisco getting the 3-0 green light there. I'm a fan of that. He and Jace Patton are the only two who have not reached in this game. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts between the two of them. 3-1 from Hansen. Inside for ball 4. Francisco's aboard. Back-to-back one-out walks here in the 5th. Flyboys leading 7-3. And here's Tyler Inge, the Flyboys shortstop here tonight. Inge had a sac fly his last time up. He's also been hit by a pitch, scored a run. So officially, 0 for 0 with an RBI. See if he can record his first at-bat. Inge had a solo homer against Bristol late last week. His first homer in any college game, be it in the Big Ten with Michigan or in 2 seasons with the Flyboys. Right on right. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away. Seems like for Johnson City tonight, that's where a lot of the pitching problems have manifested. Right-handed pitchers, all 3 of them, Daly, LeBron, and now Hansen, missing high 2 right-handed hitters. A look at second, and the 1-0. A slider in there at the knees for a strike. It's a good pitch from Eden Hansen. The right-hander now up to 37 pitches, and he's recorded just 4 outs. Johnson City is on pace tonight to throw over 200 pitches as a team. 1-1. Fastball in the dirt, blocked by Cameron Dubé, the catcher. But Leighton Daly threw 40, got 4 outs. Alexander LeBron threw 51, got 5 outs. Hansen with 38, and he's recorded 4 outs. First and second. Adams inching off the bag, not running. The 2-1 is fouled off to the right side. It's 2-2. But Inge hitting just a tick over 250 with now 26 RBIs on the season. He, Jace Patton, Reed Hare, and Ezra McNaughton all over 25 RBIs for the Flyboys. One of the league's best offenses this season, averaging 7.2 runs per game. They've already hit their season average here tonight. The 2-2. Inge hits a slow roller to shortstop. Dane Morrow charges. The sidearm throw is a good one to get Tyler Inge. That's the second out. On the play, both men move up. TJ Adams to third and Brady Francisco to second. And back to the top of the order we go for Reed Hare. A chance for Hare to pick up another RBI. 0 for 2 with a bases-loaded walk and a run scored. Hare hitting for the 4th time in 5 innings here, which shows you how productive the Flyboys have been at the plate. Scoring 7 runs despite still having just 2 hits. Now, those 2 hits, a 2-run single and a solo homer, so they've been productive. Hansen is set. Here's the pitch. Hare takes a fastball. It gets past Dubé, I should say. Flip to the plate is not in time. And TJ Adams scores on the wild pitch. It's 8-3. Heads up base running there by Adams. That was a fastball over the head of the left-handed batter, Reed Hare, and he had to duck out of the way. So Adams has come around to score all 3 times he's reached. Francisco to third. See if Reed Hare can drive one into the night sky. Here's the 1-0. Fastball misses way outside. Seems like Hansen far from the first to do it, but it seems like he's lost his release point here. Hansen gave up that solo homer to Ezra McNaughton last inning. Looked like he had settled down, striking out a couple. Here's the 2-0. Fastball misses outside to Hare. But Hansen in this inning, his pitch count climbing for the night over 40, and he's thrown just 20 strikes. So the strike percentage for Johnson City here tonight will likely be under 50. 3-0. Ball 4. Fastball missed high and outside. The third walk of the inning issued by Eben Hansen. The Flyboys have not put a ball in play. Or excuse me, they have not hit safely in this inning. A couple groundouts. But no hits in the inning. Greenville will take it though. Doesn't matter how you do it, it just matters that you score. That's what the Flyboys are doing right now. Chase Patton stepping in. Men on the corners, 2 gone. Flyboys leading 8-3 in the 5th. Patton lined out. He was the first batter to face Eben Hansen in the 4th. Lined out to center. The pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Sometimes this is one of the tougher situations you'll find yourself in as a hitter. Going up against a guy who's walked 3 in the inning and thrown a wild pitch, allowing a run to score. Got to be geared up for him to be over the plate. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Fastball below the zone, and Patton wants a moment to collect his thoughts. Nobody up in the Greenville bullpen. I'd imagine that Drew Maddox will go back out there for his 3rd inning of work. Keenan Mork and Evan Kay, 1 and 2 innings respectively. Maddox has worked each of the last 2. And I think they just called Jace Patton for a pitch clock violation. They did. The inning's over on an automatic strike, somewhat unceremoniously, but the Flyboys add another run on a wild pitch. They leave a pair, and as we go to the 6th, 8-3 Greenville over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Greenville back to the bullpen as we begin inning number 6 here at Pioneer Park. Flyboys leading Johnson City 8-3, and it's Landon Smelser, Cameron Dubé, and Logan Fife, 6, 7, 8 in the Doughboys order, due up. Braxton Lewis, the new right-hander in the game for Greenville, misses low and outside to the left-handed batter, Landon Smelser. Lewis on for the 14th time this season. Right-hander has a red glove, matching the Flyboys' red caps here tonight. The 1-0. It hits Smelser on the leg. It's not the way Lewis was looking to start things. But a leadoff base runner for Johnson City here in the 6th. Smelser aboard for the 2nd time. And now here's Cameron Dubé. Lewis, in 20 innings this season, has allowed 17 earned, 24 hits, 9 walks, 27 strikeouts. He's hit now 7 batters. An ERA of 7.7 for Braxton Lewis. And he leads the team with 7 hit batsmen. First pitch to Cameron Dubé is fouled off to the right side. If you're looking for a double play, Dubé might be your guy. He's grounded out both times. Once to second base and once to shortstop. Smelser at first. And the pitch from Lewis. Slider in there for a strike. And it's quickly 0-2. Smelser has not attempted a stolen base yet in limited action for Johnson City. Braxton Lewis looking to bounce back after the HBP. The 0-2. Dubé strikes out swinging. Couldn't catch up to an inside fastball there. So the book closed on Drew Maddox. 2 innings of 1-run ball, 2 hits, no walks, no Ks. Here's Logan Fife now. It's been the Flyboys' Achilles heel this season. 12 for 24, 8 RBIs in 5 games. Lewis is set. Here's the pitch. Fife hits a line drive to right center field. Reed Hare sprinting over, still going. He's not going to get there. He gets the ball in quickly. The throw to third base is a good one, but it's just late. Smelser goes first to third as Logan Fife picks up his 13th hit in 6 games against Flyboys pitching. He knew the chances of keeping Logan Fife over were very low. First and third, one away in the 6th. Flyboys leading Johnson City 8-3. And the batter is the Doughboys' number 9 hitter, Dane Morrow. Morrow, a left-handed batter stepping in. 0 for 2 tonight. A strikeout and a ground out. Here's the first pitch from Lewis. Fastball inside. About a baseball off the plate. Flyboys have scored in each of the last 4 innings. Johnson City scoring just once since the first. Lewis is ready. Here's the 1-0. In the dirt. Kept in front by Brady Francisco, and it's 2-0. The Flyboys, nothing to play for as far as postseason considerations go. Greenville is locked into the number 2 seed. Cannot go up, cannot go down. The 2-0 pitch. Morrow takes low and outside. Lewis a pitch away from loading the bases with 1 out. Now you do think about the home run chase. Ezra McNaughton, if he homers again this season, will take sole possession of the Appy League single season record with 13 bombs. The 3-0 to Morrow. He takes low, and the bases are loaded for the top of the order. Johnson City is going to come back into this game. This is a prime opportunity. Flyboys had been good about not walking batters. That is just the 3rd walk issued by a Greenville pitcher tonight. But it brings the top of the order up. Here's Caleb Gibson. 1 for 2, a single and a walk for him. This is his 4th trip to the plate. Flyboys leading 8-3. As it stands now, the tying run is on deck. Right on right. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Gibson, kind of a half swing there. It would have been a strike anyway on the outside part of the plate. Lewis a pitch away from ending the inning. Double play is in order here with 1 gone. The 0-1 pitch. Slider, a check swing, appeal to second. He didn't go. It's 1-1. And again, it's impossible to appeal check swings when the only other umpire is behind the mound. Now, once the Flyboys get to the playoffs on Thursday, that's going to change. The Appy League playoffs umpired by 4-man crews instead of 2. 1-1 on the right-handed batter, Gibson, an upright stance. The pitch from Lewis. A slider in there on the inside part of the plate. Gibson didn't like the call, but again, it looks like, if the last couple innings are any indication, the strike zone has gotten bigger throughout the game for the home plate umpire, Trey Neville. Big pitch coming. Here's the 1-2. Gibson pops it foul out of play to the third base side. And he stays alive. But in this inning, a leadoff hit by pitch for Landon Smelser. He's at third base. Logan Fife at second. Dane Morrow at first after the walk. Gibson looking to add to his 2 RBIs. This is just his 17th at-bat of the season. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Good job there by Braxton Lewis working the inner half of the plate again. Bases loaded, 2 gone in the 6th. Flyboys leading Johnson City 8-3, looking to keep it there. Braxton Baird stepping in. A single and 2 runs scored for him this afternoon, or evening, I should say. I'd say 9 o'clock counts as the evening. Left-handed batter digging in. The pitch from Lewis. A backdoor slider at the knees for strike 1. Braxton Baird has an open stance. A very defined crouch in the lefty box. think Bryce Harper, but less upright. 0-1. Lewis fires. Another slider, another strike on the outside edge. Those are two really good pitches from Braxton Lewis. Back-to-back breaking balls at the knees on the outside part of the plate. Those are really tough to do anything with. Looking to leave them loaded. Lewis delivers the 0-2. Baird strikes out swinging on the fastball. Braxton Lewis K's the side, strands the bases loaded in the 6th. As we go to the home half of inning number 6, Greenville leads Johnson City 8-3 on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Back here at Pioneer Park, we're getting set for the bottom of inning number 6. Flyboys leading Johnson City 8-3. And Johnson City goes back to the bullpen, calling on a former Flyboy, Tennessee native Sam Raper. Will face Ezra McNaughton, Cameron Kim, and Danny Wallace. McNaughton, his last time up, tied the Appy League single-season record, hitting his 12th homer of the campaign. He looks to potentially stand alone in the annals of Appy League history if he can hit another one out of here. His first was to dead center, right on left, as Raper will go from the stretch. A deep breath and the pitch. McNaughton, a big swing and a miss at a high fastball. The pitch he hit out of here back in the 4th inning was a low inside fastball from Eben Hansen. The Johnson City reliever, 2 runs in 2 innings, a hit, 3 walks, 3 Ks. The 0-1 to McNaughton. Inside, lifts his arms out of the way. McNaughton always crowds the plate, so it's no surprise that pitchers try to work him on the inner half. But it's tough to do that without plunking him. Sam Raper on for the 7th time in the last 2 years here in the Appy League. Here's the 1-1. McNaughton takes inside, shuffling out of the way of a fastball. Raper making his 2nd appearance for Johnson City. He worked an inning and a third scoreless with a pair of strikeouts in his first outing. Last year for the Flyboys, it didn't go so well. 5 innings, 12 earned runs. That's an ERA of 21.6. 2-1 to McNaughton. Swinging a high fly ball to deep left center field. This is playable for Landon Smelser. He makes the catch well in front of the warning track, and McNaughton is retired. Here's Cameron Kim. Base is empty, 1 gone in the 6th. Flyboys leading Johnson City 8-3. But the most puzzling thing about this game, and I will continue to say it because it's so weird, Johnson City is out-hitting Greenville 6-2. But the Flyboys already in this game have been issued 11 walks. Johnson City's average is 7.5 walks per 9 innings, which is the highest in the league. The pitch to Kim. Breaking ball misses shoulder high. That curve just popped out of Sam Raper's hand a little too early. Greenville, by comparison, has issued just 2 walks while allowing 6 hits. 1-0 on Kim. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. Elsewhere around the Appy League, Kingsport sews up a 16-0 thrashing of Tri-State. That game done after 7 innings. Elizabethton beating Bristol 12-4. Burlington over Danville right now, 8-5 in the 6th. The 2-0 to Kim. Fastball misses high. And the big one in Pulaski. Bluefield still leading Pulaski 4-3. If Bluefield can hold on at Calfee Park in Pulaski, then the Ridge Runners will lock up a date with Burlington in the East Championship game on Thursday. The 3-0 pitch. Kim takes low and away, ball 4. The 12th walk issued by Johnson City pitching in this game. Now Danny Wallace stepping in. He had the first of Greenville's 2 hits. It was an RBI single in the 2nd. Entering that inning, the Flyboys trailed 2-0. They tied the game and then took the lead entirely on bases loaded walks. Wallace's 2-run knock is the difference in this game right now, though. Flyboys leading 8-3. Pitch to Wallace. A fastball in there for a strike. But Johnson City scored in the 5th. Trey Majette grounded into a double play with men on first and third. No RBI for him. But Braxton Baird scored. Kim off of first. The 0-1 to Wallace. Well outside and low from Sam Raper. Raper, a native of Madisonville, Tennessee, 6'5", 235. Played his college ball the last couple years at Bryan College in the NAIA ranks. He sets at the belt. Runner goes, the 1-1 outside. The throw from the catcher, Dubé, is way late. Cameron Kim steals second, standing up. Kim into double figures, his 10th stolen base of the season. Flyboys continuing to run wild. Greenville already well over 100 stolen bags on the season at nearly a 90% clip. 2-1 to Wallace. A swing and an awkward foul ball. Wallace got jammed. I think it deflected either off the plate or off his foot and ended up hitting the screen near the Flyboys' first base dugout. I think that got Wallace on the foot. So the catcher, Dubé, goes out to have a word with Sam Raper before the 2-2. Greenville looking for win number 25. The Flyboys can hold on here. It would be their first win in a 9-inning home game since July 4th. 2-2 on Wallace, the pitch. Punched foul to the right side, out of play. Now, Greenville did win a a suspended game against Tri-State here at Pioneer Park. That game began at Tri-State, but it concluded here in Greenville 2 weeks ago. The 2-2 to Wallace. A slider line toward the right side. This ball is down, heading for the corner. Cameron Kim will score. Danny Wallace hustling into second. He's in, standing up. Wallace has 3 RBIs tonight. This time it's an RBI double, and the Flyboys lead 9-3 in the 6th. All the walks tonight issued by Johnson City pitching. Danny Wallace wants no part of it. He wants to earn his way up.
For the Flyboys, number 15, Dylan Jackson.
A good opposite field swing there by Danny Wallace. And that's what's been so impressive about him, is that even though he has not played a college game yet, he's willing to use the entire field. Man at second, one away for Dylan Jackson now. Right on right. Raper fires. Jackson takes a fastball for strike one on the high inside corner at 85. Jackson 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored tonight. 8 of 9 Flyboys batters have reached safely. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses low and away. Ezra McNaughton's reached 3 times, as has TJ Adams and Cameron Kim as well. But a lot of walks issued by Johnson City pitching. 1-1 on Jackson. And the pitch. Fastball misses low and away. And what's so interesting about the way that these at-bats are transpiring is that for a lot of these misses, they're not even close as far as Johnson City pitching goes. 2-1 on Dylan Jackson. Here it comes. Fastball in there for strike 2. That was 85 right down Broadway. Jackson let it go. Dylan Jackson hitting .280 on the season. The OPS, .817 prior to action tonight. A look at second and the 2-2. Breaking ball inside and low. The count runs full. Sam Raper has thrown 19 pitches in this inning. Just 8 for strikes. Greenville's got a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. Looks like A.J. Diaz is up down there. 3-2. Here's the payoff. Fastball swung on and missed. Jackson came out of his shoes, and he's gone. Man at second. 2 away now for TJ Adams. Flyboys leading 9-3 in the 6th. Adams has walked 3 times and scored 3 runs in this game. And before the right-handed batter steps in, Sam Raper steps off the rubber. Now he's set. And the pitch to Adams, way outside in the other batter's box. But Greenville here at Pioneer Park for the final time this season here tonight. The Flyboys will be on the road for the playoff. And if it was last season, the Flyboys would get a chance to host the championship should they make it. 1-0 to Adams, misses away. But this year, the championship game is being played in Johnson City, which is a decision that I don't entirely understand. I've heard it has something to do with the Speedway Classic, but my counterpoint to that is, well, why wouldn't we just play the championship game at Bristol Motor Speedway on Friday night? The 2-0. Adams takes a fastball for a strike. Because if anything, the sales pitch writes itself. No other Summer Ball league can say that it plays its championship game at the last grade Coliseum. Braxton Lewis agreed with me about that. We were talking about it the other day. Adams takes a slider inside. It's 3-1. I would at least say that the league should have had whatever West team wins the division, whether at this point it's Kingsport or Greenville, let them host instead of having to play it in Johnson City no matter what. I disagree with that decision. Unfortunately, my opinion does not matter. Adams takes outside, and he walks for the 4th time tonight. That's one way to raise the on-base percentage. Second walk of the inning for Sam Raper. Now men at first and second and 2 gone for Brady Francisco. Flyboys leading 9-3 in the 6th. Francisco 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk tonight. Greenville continues to be really weird, being out hit 6-3, but leading 9-3. Haven't seen something this drastic in the Appy League, at least in a Flyboys game this year. The pitch to Francisco. Fastball misses upstairs. Francisco hitting just above the Mendoza line, 225 entering this game. The 1-0 pitch. Raper grabs the bottom of the zone with a fastball. It's 1-1. Right-hander is set. He looks at second. And the 1-1. Fastball, or excuse me, a breaking ball misses down and out. Slider there from Sam Raper. He is up to 28 pitches in this inning. This day in baseball history, July 29th, 1903. Pittsburgh's Ed Doheny jumps the ship to return home because he's convinced that he is being followed by detectives. 2-1 on Francisco. The runners take off. The pitch, a called strike. Throw down to third. The tag, not in time. Another double steal for the Flyboys. The throw beat Wallace, but the tag from Braxton Baird at third base did not. TJ Adams takes second. So for Wallace, his 4th steal of the year. And for Adams, his 3rd tonight, his 15th of the season overall. Doheny went AWOL. The headline from the Pittsburgh Post read, "His mind is thought to be deranged." Doheny returned 2 weeks later, but his career was never the same. 2-2, inside. Breaking ball popped out of Raper's hand. That was the 30th pitch of the inning. Also on July 29th, 1903, Cy Young goes all the way. finishes the game as Boston loses to the Highlanders 15-14. 3-2. Francisco takes downstairs, and Sam Raper has walked 3 in the inning. The bases are now loaded. Johnson City just putting on an absolute clinic of how not to pitch here tonight. The Doughboys with Raper walking 3, Hanson walking 3, Daly and LeBron each walking 4. The Flyboys have now walked 14 times in less than 6 full innings. Ouch. Not a season high, though. Burlington walked Greenville batters on 18 occasions in Saukville a couple weeks back. Flyboys leading 9-3 in the 6th. 2 gone. Bases loaded for Tyler Inge. Inge 0 for 1. A sac fly, a ground out, and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. Inge now up to 26 RBIs of the season. See if he can add to that total. Push the Flyboys into double digits. Feels like this game is already pretty in control, but we've seen big comebacks at Pioneer Park this season. Here's the 0-1. Slider misses outside. But the pitches per inning, that's not going to be pretty for Johnson City in this game. It is well over 20 already. Closer probably to 25. 1-1 on Inge. And Raper deals. Inge chases a high inside fastball. 1-2. But Johnson City entering this game, the Doughboys were last in the league. 19.8 pitches per inning. Certainly higher than that tonight. 1-2 on Tyler Inge. Here's the pitch. Inge takes strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner. That was right there. And the Flyboys leave them loaded in the 6th. Greenville adds 1 on the RBI double from Danny Wallace as we go to the 7th. 9-3 Flyboys over Johnson City on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Welcome back to Pioneer Park. We're in the top of inning number 7 with the Flyboys ahead, 9-3 over Johnson City. Greenville has, I believe, made a defensive substitution. It looks like Grant Hunter is now in left. Johnson City, I think, wants some clarification. But Jack Wilson, I believe, has pulled Ezra McNaughton out of this game. Not sure why. I don't think it's anything injury related. But Hunter now in left. And it'll be 3-4-5 in the Johnson City order due up. Nate Connor, left-handed batter, takes a breaking ball in the dirt from Braxton Lewis. The Flyboys reliever struck out the side and stranded the bases loaded in the 6th. Had to work for it, but he delivered a scoreless frame. But Grant Hunter is now in left field for Greenville. I don't see, looking down in the dugout right now, I can't see Ezra McNaughton, but that doesn't mean he's not there. It's possible he's sitting on the bench underneath the overhang. Brady Francisco going out to talk to Braxton Lewis here. McNaughton has moved to first base, replacing Dylan Jackson. So McNaughton to first, replacing Jackson. Hunter takes over in left. 1-0 on Nate Connor out of ETSU in Johnson City. The pitch. Fastball misses outside. Nate Connor 2 for 3 tonight. Left-handed batter, an even stance, a slight bend of the knees. The 2-0. Fastball misses high from Braxton Lewis. Looking to avoid a 4-pitch leadoff walk. Lewis delivers. Connor takes a strike. Fastball at the top of the zone. See if Braxton Lewis can battle all the way back. Right-hander is ready. Here's the 3-1. Fouled away. It's 3-2. So not sure why Dylan Jackson was pulled from the game, but we will find out later on. Here's the 3-2 to Connor. Way outside. Lewis lost him. Breaking ball popped out of his hand there. So the leadoff man aboard in the top of the 7th. Greenville leading Johnson City 9-3. And the batter is Trey Majette. Majette hit with men on the corners his last time up. Grounded into a double play. A run scored, but no RBI. See if Lewis can get him to roll over another one. Right-hander sets at the belt, and the pitch popped foul behind home plate. Majette 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch back in the first, where Johnson City scored 2 of its 3 runs. The Flyboys scored 5 in the second, and they've scored 1 run in each of the last 4 innings. Johnson City a run in the 5th inning on that double play. The 0-1. Majette fouls it over the third base side. It's 0-2. Flyboys looking to send their home fans home happy here tonight. The final game at Pioneer Park for Greenville until 2026. It snuck up on us faster than I was expecting, I will say. 0-2 on Majette. Here's the pitch. Off speed, misses low and away. On this day in baseball history, July 29th, 1908. This is a tough one. John McFarland of Helena in the Arkansas State League loses a perfect game when the 27th batter refuses to come to the plate. 1-2. Majette hits a swinging bunt foul behind home plate. The 27th batter refuses to come to the plate, resulting in a 9-0 forfeit. Ouch. Why don't more major league teams do that? If a guy's got a perfect game and you're the 27th batter, just say, nope, I'm not going out there. I'm not going to be the last out of a perfect game. Are you kidding me? I'd be pretty heated if I was on the mound, if I was John McFarland on this day in 1908. 1-2. Majette hits a pop-up foul toward first. McNaughton over to give it a look, but that ball is out of play. On this day in 1908, Christy Mathewson defeats the Cardinals 1-0. Harry Saley allows 4 hits. The lone run in the game scores on an error and a passed ball. You're going to talk about a guy getting no help out there. 1-2 on Majette. And here it comes. Majette fouls off another one. That's 3 in a row. On this day in 1910, White Sox outfielder Patsy Doherty breaks up Ed Summers' no-hitter facing Detroit. 1-2. Lewis fires. Swinging a line drive up the middle, and it's through into center field. That ball had funky spin going toward the gap. Nate Connor thought about going first to third on that one. That ball got over the infield and basically made a straight turn to the left. It hit the ground and spun 90 degrees toward the gap. Now Jack Wilson is going out to get Braxton Lewis. So 2 men reach to start the inning, and here comes A.J. Diaz out of the bullpen. First and second, nobody out for Derek Mitchell when we come back. Greenville leading 9-3 in the 7th on the Flyboys Baseball Network. A.J. Diaz comes out of the bullpen with 2 on and nobody out in the 7th. Johnson City trailing the Flyboys 9-3. Braxton Lewis exits after a leadoff walk, followed by a base hit back through the box. And A.J. Diaz is on to face Derek Mitchell, the Johnson City right fielder, a switch hitter batting left. 1 for 3 with a couple of groundouts. Diaz hoping to roll up another one. And record 2 outs on 1 swing. Right on left, the pitch. Mitchell fouls it back. It's 0-1. A.J. Diaz was last on the mound, leading the Flyboys to a playoff berth in Elizabethton on Saturday. He retired 7 batters in a row to seal the 8-7 Greenville win. The winning swing of the bat, a solo home run from Cameron Kim. 0-1 on Mitchell. Here's the pitch. On the low inside corner, a good changeup from Diaz. It's that front hip changeup. Mitchell didn't like the call from home plate umpire Trey Neville. That's a really good pitch. Majette at first, Connor at second. Diaz fires. Mitchell hits a ground ball towards short. Chance for 2, but it's off Inge's glove into center field. And the bases are loaded with nobody out on what could have been a 6-4-3 double play. Flyboys have been good defensively this year. Tied for second in the Appy League with a .967 fielding percentage. But that error by Inge is costly. Bases loaded, nobody out for Landon Smelser. Flyboys leading 9-3, but in trouble here. Score that one in E6, the first error by either side in this game. Smelser stepping in the lefty box. 6 RBIs for him on the season. Right on left, here's the pitch. Smelser fouls it away toward the third base side. He got jammed on that swing. Now A.J. Diaz, in his last appearance, inherited the bases loaded. And although he allowed a couple inherited runners to score, he settled things down. Kept the game tied at 7, and then gave the Flyboys a chance to do what Cameron Kim ultimately did, which is take the lead and clinch a playoff berth. Here's the 0-1. Downstairs, Smelser watches it. It's 1-1. Diaz tried to land the changeup there. Mentioned all these switch hitters and left-handed batters. Diaz has tried a front hip changeup to each of the first 2. Mitchell at first, Majette at second, Connor at third. Here's the 1-1. Smelser punches it foul to the left side. It's 1-2. But as it stands right now for Johnson City, the tying run is 2 batters, or excuse me, the tying run is 1 batter deep into the dugout. Trailing by 6 with the bases loaded. The 1-2. Smelser takes high and outside. Diaz missed with the fastball there. But this is a situation where if you're the Flyboys, you would give up a run if you can get an out. Just about recording those outs at this point in the game. 2-2. Smelser takes up and away, ball 3. Mentioned that walks and free bases had really been a problem for Johnson City pitching in this game, with the Doughboys walking 14 hitters. Flyboys have walked 4, but also an error in this inning. Now a full count on Smelser. Here it comes. Strike 3 on the inside corner. 90 miles an hour at the knees. Smelser flipped the bat towards the third base dugout because he thought it was ball 4. He thought wrong. A huge first out there for A.J. Diaz because now a double play ends the inning. The catcher, Cameron Dubé, is the next to hit. 0 for 3 for Dubé. 4 for 17 on the season for Johnson City. An open stance. A big crouch in the righty box. And the pitch. Dubé fouls it off behind home plate. That ball deflects off the brick backstop into fair territory. Ezra McNaughton there to pick it up. McNaughton moving from left field to first base. Grant Hunter now in left. McNaughton is due up in the next inning. He has a chance to break the Appy League single-season home run record. He tied it earlier in this game with a solo shot. The 0-1. Dubé takes outside. That should have been a strike. That was at the knees on the outside corner. Slider from Diaz. But it's 1-1. Strike zone, which unfortunately is the case far too often as of late, has been inconsistent. 1-1. Here it comes. Fastball chopped up the middle. Going to be a tough turn. Inge charging, can't field the short hop, and everybody's safe. Run scores. It's 9-4 Flyboys. That was a high bouncer, and Tyler Inge had to sprint in to have any chance of making that play, but all he could do was knock it down. He couldn't glove it cleanly. It'll probably be scored an infield single as Nate Connor scores from third base. And they do indeed score that an infield hit. So credit Dubé with his 4th RBI of the season. And now here's Logan Fife, who is the most dangerous hitter facing Flyboys pitching. Here it comes. Fife hits a high fly ball to deep left field. Grant Hunter ranging toward the corner makes the catch in front of the warning track. It's a sac fly for Logan Fife. He just missed a grand slam. He didn't get all of that one. And that's a really good thing, because Fife, hitting over 500 against Greenville this season, ambushed that first pitch, but he was just out in front of a changeup. So it's 9-5. Greenville still with a healthy lead here, although 2 have scored in the inning. Credit Fife with his 33rd RBI of the season. And here's Dane Morrow. First and second, 2 gone. And Diaz lands a first pitch strike on a slider. Logan Fife now has 9 RBIs in 6 games against Greenville this season. Morrow 0 for 2 tonight. A walk, a ground out, and a strikeout. The 0-1 from Diaz. Morrow fooled on a good changeup. It's 0-2. So both inherited runners score, which closes the book on Braxton Lewis. An inning, 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Diaz sets. Here's the 0-2. Morrow takes outside. That fastball was on the chalk. That was nowhere close to the strike zone. See if Diaz can strand a pair here. Flyboys still leading by 4, so you feel pretty comfortable. But you'd like to go get a couple more runs in the next half inning to really be sure. An inside move to second. Mitchell back standing. Nobody's home. Diaz is set at the belt. And the 1-2. A check swing on a breaking ball. They appeal to second. He didn't go. Again, you can't tell when the field umpire is behind the mound. That was a low breaking ball. It didn't look like Morrow went around. It's one of those where I actually agree with the umpiring crew, which is not all that common. But I think that was the right call. So now 2-2 with first and second in the top of the order on deck. Here it comes. Breaking ball, low and outside. That was a good slider from Diaz, but that was at the shins. And it didn't miss by much. Did not miss by much at all. Diaz maybe got squeezed a little bit on that one. Full count, 2 outs. Dubé from first. Mitchell from second will run on the pitch. There they go. Morrow strikes out swinging, and that's the inning. Johnson City gets a couple back, but A.J. Diaz does a nice job of limiting the damage. Stretch time here in Greenville. Flyboys leading the Doughboys 9-5 on the Greenville Flyboys Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning here at Pioneer Park. The Flyboys leading Johnson City 9-5 our score. Reed Hare takes a strike at the knees from the new Doughboys reliever, right-hander Brian Smith. Smith on for the 12th time this season for the Doughboys. Always goes from the stretch. The pitch to Hare. A fastball chopped up the middle, fielded by Dane Morrow deep in the hole. The throw to first is not in time. An infield hit to start the 7th for Reed Hare. Talked about Hare's speed, as we have throughout the season. He showed it there. Legging out the infield knock. Now here's Jace Patton. Patton stepping in. 0 for 4 tonight. He is the only Flyboys batter who has not reached base in this game. 3 strikeouts and a lineout. Smith is set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in. Johnson City got a couple back in the 7th. They chased Braxton Lewis. Did the Doughboys. Charge Lewis. For both of those runners that scored, A.J. Diaz came on and limited the damage. Struck out a couple. Pickoff move to first. Almost gets away from Trey Majette. Hare dives in safely as Majette knocks it down. Brian Smith making his 12th appearance of the season. 22 2/3 innings. He's allowed 16 earned runs, 19 hits, 18 walks, and 22 Ks. 1-0. Patton takes high and inside. He's had to lean out of the way of a lot of high inside pitches tonight. Sure, he's looking to put a charge into one. The Flyboys have scored in every inning since the 2nd when they took a 5-2 lead. 2-0 to Patton. Fouled off toward first. Couldn't quite get the bat head out in front of that inside fastball. Reed Hare has reached now 3 times in 5 trips. The Flyboys have had 4 batters reach base safely 3 times. A lot of them via walks. 14 walks issued by Johnson City pitching in this game. Here's the 2-1. Patton hits a hot shot up the middle, past the diving Dane Morrow into center field. First and second, nobody away. Greenville is in business here in the 7th. Patton aboard, so all 9 Flyboys batters have now reached safely. Here's Ezra McNaughton. Dream scenario for him as he looks to break the Appy League single-season home run record. He tied it with a solo homer in the 4th. That was his 12th home run of the season. And with first and second, nobody out, Brian Smith doesn't really have a choice. He has to pitch to him. It's a lot of the reason why Ezra McNaughton's home run totals have dropped in the month of July after he hit 9 in June. It's because teams have just started pitching around him. Right on left, here's the pitch. McNaughton takes outside. Correction, I should say he hit 8 in June and then 1 in the Flyboys series against Johnson City. That was in the first 3 days of July. Johnson City swept that series 3-0. 1-0 on McNaughton. Smith looks at second and fires. Upstairs and high, or excuse me, outside. 2-0 on Ezra McNaughton. So you're thinking in terms of challenge pitches, this is as textbook as it gets. First and second, nobody out, and a 2-0 count with the cleanup man on deck. Here it comes. McNaughton takes high again. Brian Smith, 1 ball away from loading the bases with nobody out. And this feels like a moment where the Flyboys could really put this game out of reach. Remember, the run rule is in effect, as this is a Tuesday game. 3-0. McNaughton takes upstairs, and that'll load the bases. So you're thinking potentially back-to-back singles and a walk to start the inning. This is a chance for Greenville to push this game into run rule territory. Flyboys lead 9-5 in the 7th. Bases loaded, nobody out for the cleanup man, Cameron Kim. 3 walks, an RBI, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored tonight for Kim. It is a 10-run rule. Micah Jordan has stepped in the on-deck circle for the Flyboys. So he'll get a chance unless Kim hits into a triple play. Right-hander Smith is ready. Here's the pitch. Kim pops it up. Infield fly is in effect. He's out. Pops out to first on 1 pitch, does Cameron Kim. Now Micah Jordan will step to the plate, replacing Danny Wallace.
Micah Jordan.
Micah Jordan, a fan favorite here in Greenville, so it only makes sense that during the Flyboys' final home game of the season, Jordan gets a chance. Micah Jordan this season playing in his 43rd game. Jordan hitting .233. 3 homers, 22 driven in. And where he's really shined is on the base pads once again. 19 for 20 stealing bags for Greenville this season. Bases loaded, 1 gone. See if he can help the Flyboys open this one up a little bit more, as they still lead by 4. But a chance for a real crooked number here. Jordan's got good power, especially to his pull side. But also it looks like there's a lot of room in right center. Here's the pitch. Jordan takes up and in. The outfielder out of Virginia Tech. He and Tyler Inge, Kyle Boddy, Jake Kennedy, among those who remember last year's playoff run. Flyboys fell 1 win short of their second Appy League title since 2021. Smith already up to 11 pitches. Here it comes. Jordan takes up and in again. Ball 2. Smith has thrown just 5 strikes. Back-to-back singles, a walk, and he got bailed out by Cameron Kim. Kim popped out on the first pitch he saw. Infield fly still in effect, with the bases loaded and 1 away. The 2-0 pitch. Jordan gets hit on the elbow guard, and that forces in a run. Protective equipment earning its money there. That forces home Reed Hare from third base. It's 10-5. Now here's Grant Hunter for the first time tonight. Micah Jordan is okay. That one got him on the protective equipment, so he is okay. Flyboys now leading 10-5 here in the 7th. Hunter stepping in for the first time. He entered as a defensive replacement in left field as Ezra McNaughton moved to first base, I should say, and Dylan Jackson exited the game. Here's the pitch. Hunter pops it foul behind home plate. So credit Micah Jordan with his 23rd RBI of the season, although I'm sure he was looking to swing the bat. 0-1 on Grant Hunter. And here it comes. Hunter takes a 58-foot off-speed pitch, and it's 1-1. For Greenville, what you're really hoping for here is a couple swings of the bat to push this one further out of reach. 1-1. Hunter takes low and outside. So 15 walks and 2 hit-by pitches in this game for Johnson City pitchers. It's just difficult to give yourself a fighting chance when you've got to contend with so many free bases. The 2-1 in the dirt again, ball 3. Patton over at third base, McNaughton at second, Micah Jordan at first. The Flyboys leading 10-5 with 1 gone in the 7th. They score 5 more times in this inning. The game is over. 3-1. Hunter hits a high fly ball to straightaway left center. Landon Smelser, the left fielder, is camped under it. He makes the catch. Patton tags from third. The throw in is cut off. Sac fly for Grant Hunter. And it's 11-5 Greenville in the 7th. Patton scoring from third. Now first and second, 2 gone for TJ Adams. Adams has walked all 4 times. He's scored 3 runs and stolen 3 bases. But still no official at-bat as he comes to the plate for the 5th time. Smith is set. Here's the pitch. Adams lines it foul toward first. Now that's something that Lane Akers did against Johnson City on July 1st. Akers recorded 6 plate appearances without an at-bat. 5 walks and a hit by pitch. The 0-1 to Adams upstairs. Akers would have, all else equal, tied a major league record last set by Jimmy Fox in 1938. 6 plate appearances without an official at-bat. Appy League, Major League, apples and oranges, yes. Here's the 1-1. Outside. Brian Smith now up to 22 pitches in this inning. He's recorded just 2 outs. And here's the 2-1. Adams nearly gets hit by a fastball. 90 miles an hour looking for his ribs. It's 3-1. McNaughton at second, Jordan at first. Both have good speed. Wonder if maybe they run here. Hitters count 2 away in the inning. You're going on anything. They are not going. 3-1 pitch is low and outside, and that loads the bases again. Second time this inning, the Flyboys have had the bases loaded. And now here's Brady Francisco. Flyboys leading 10-5, or excuse me, 11-5, I should say, in the 7th. And here's Francisco. Greenville led 9-5 at the start of this inning. Runs home on the hit by pitch and the sacrifice fly. So it's 11-5 Flyboys. Bases loaded, 2 gone. Here's the pitch. Francisco nearly gets hit by a fastball. Had to lean out of the way. I mean, at some point, enough is enough. If I missed this badly, this much in MLB The Show, my pitcher would get ejected. 1-0. Here it comes. Francisco takes a fastball for a strike. This is past the term conveniently wild for Brian Smith. 1-1 on Francisco. Couple walks tonight. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. Nobody up in the Greenville bullpen, but with how long Flyboys pitchers have had to wait between innings, wonder whether or not A.J. Diaz will come back out. Here's the 2-1. Francisco takes high, and that's ball 3. Again, it feels like a travel baseball game. It really does. The amount of walks. And again, the record for Flyboys hitters in a single game is 18. But they're approaching that mark. 3-1. Francisco takes ball 4, and that forces in a run. McNaughton jogs home. Everybody moves up. Bases remain loaded for the 9th man to the plate this inning, Tyler Inge. Francisco has walked in each of the last 3 innings. Flyboys now leading 12-5 our score. 3 runs home in this frame. A hit by pitch, a sacrifice fly, and a bases loaded walk. Inge, hitless so far, the pitch, upstairs. Inge, a sacrifice fly, a hit by pitch, a run scored. But now you've got all 3 runs that you need for the mercy rule on base. 1-0. Inge takes a fastball at the knees. That's strike 1. When you think about travel baseball games where there's no pitching and a whole bunch of offense, this has turned into one of those for Johnson City. See if Inge can drive one into the gap and end this thing. Here's the 1-1. Inge hits a high fly ball to straightaway right field. Derek Mitchell is there, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Flyboys leave him loaded for the 2nd time and as many innings. And we'll go to the 8th. Greenville leading Johnson City 12-5 on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning between the Flyboys and Johnson City. It's all Greenville, 12-5. The home squad leads. A.J. Diaz still out there, working with the biggest lead any Flyboys pitcher has had tonight. 7 runs. Greenville has sent 16 batters to the plate in the last 2 innings. Only 4 of them have scored, which you would think that you'd have a little bit more efficiency there, but the Flyboys will take it. It'll be the top of the order for the Doughboys here. Caleb Gibson, Braxton Baird, and Nate Connor. Doughboys down to their final 6 outs in this one. Flyboys looking to sew up their first 9-inning home win since the 4th of July. Gibson stepping in, hitless since the first inning. Led off the game with an infield knock that trickled about 30 feet in front of home plate. The pitch from Diaz, a fastball lined to left off the glove of Cameron Kim, and Gibson is aboard. There's his first hit since the first inning. Braxton Baird stepping in from the left side now.
Now batting number 69, Braxton Baird.
Baird a single and a couple runs scored in this game. Micah Jordan is now in the game in right field. He entered the game as a pinch hitter with the bases loaded and got hit by a pitch, picked up an RBI the hard way. Baird in from the left side. Here's the pitch. Inside from Diaz. Pickoff move to first. The runner is in there safely. The big one taking place in Pulaski tonight. Bluefield has defeated Pulaski 6-3. Pulaski committing 4 errors in that game. The Ridge Runners have officially clinched the final playoff spot. Braxton Baird takes low and outside. So it will be Bluefield visiting Burlington in the Appy League East Championship game on Thursday night, while the Flyboys face Kingsport. Greenville will hit the road for that one. 2-0. Baird fouls it off toward third. 2 other games have also gone final. Kingsport run rules Tri-State 16-0 in 7 innings. Bristol falls to Elizabethton 12-7, that game being played in Johnson City. Bristol adds the home team. One other game still in progress. Danville beating Burlington 13-11. The Otterbots likely to finish now second to last in the East. The 2-1. Baird takes up and in from Diaz. Nobody throwing in the Flyboys bullpen right now. Although I'd imagine the Flyboys have not had a pitcher go longer than 2 innings in this game. I would imagine that Diaz is looking to get through this 8th inning and then hand the reins over. Baird takes outside. That's ball 4. So 2 on, nobody out for Johnson City here in the 8th. The first walk issued by Diaz.
67, Nate Connor.
And Nate Connor stepping in. 12-5, the Flyboys lead. First and second, nobody gone in the 8th. Heart of the order coming up here for Johnson City. Connor in from the left side. And the pitch from Diaz. Smashed to straightaway right. Coming on is Micah Jordan. He's not going to get there. And everybody goes station to station. The bases are loaded with nobody out for Johnson City. The Doughboys have had some traffic on the bases in each of the last 2 innings. They left the bases loaded in the 6th, and they left 2 on in the 7th. Jared Morton, the Flyboys pitching coach, goes out to have a word with A.J. Diaz. 2 singles and a walk in this inning, allowed by Diaz. Trey Majette, Johnson City's most well-rounded bat, coming to the plate. Majette a single and a run scored back in the 7th. Flyboys infield also on the mound here. Greenville leading comfortably, 12-5 in the 8th. 5 combined runs scored in the 7th inning. 3 for the Flyboys, 2 for Johnson City. This is where you're just hoping for A.J. Diaz again to get some weak contact. You're okay with giving up a couple of runs here if it means you can record outs. That's really all that matters right now. Bases loaded, nobody out for the cleanup man. If Johnson City is going to rally, it's got to be right now. The Doughboys now out-hitting Greenville 10-5. So Majette, switch hitter batting left for the 5th time. 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Majette hits a tapper up the middle. Chance for 2, but it's past Patton into center field. 2 runs are going to score. The throw to third base is late. They throw to second. The throw there is in time to get Majette. But it's a 2-run single for Trey Majette, and it's 12-7 in the 8th. Good job of at least getting it out there if you're the Flyboys.
Number 55, Derek Mitchell.
Majette tried to move up to second as the throw came in from center field to third base. Nate Connor was in there safely. And now here's Derek Mitchell, switch hitter batting left. Man at third, 1 away. 12-7 Flyboys lead. The pitch. Slider misses low and outside. Scored 8-5-4 on the putout. One 1-0. And here it comes. Mitchell swings and misses. May have foul tipped that one, but it's 1-1 either way. Gibson and Baird score on the RBI single from Majette. He's up to now 25 on the season. The 1-1. Changeup misses low and away. But at this point, the tying run is still well in the dugout. Diaz wouldn't mind a strikeout here. The 2-1. Mitchell takes low and away. Derek Mitchell, 1 for 4 tonight. A single, an RBI ground out, and he reached on an error back in the 7th. That was the first batter Diaz faced. 3-1 pitch. Tapped foul behind home plate. It's 3-2. A.J. Diaz having to work 31 pitches in an inning and a third. One of his more laborious outings as of late. 3-2 on Mitchell. Or 3-1, I should say. Actually, it is 3-2. I lied. Last pitch was fouled off. The 3-2 is hit in the air on the infield. On the left side, Tyler Inge calls it from shortstop and makes the catch halfway between second and third to retire Mitchell. Man at third, 2 away. Flyboys leading 12-7 in the top of the 8th. And the batter is Landon Smelser. A hit by pitch and a walk. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Doughboys down to their final 4 outs as the Flyboys look to even this season series at 3 games apiece. The pitch to Smelser. Hit in the air to the left side, sinking toward the foul line. Grant Hunter sprinting in, makes the catch, nearing foul territory, and that's the inning. Johnson City gets 2 more on the RBI knock from Trey Majette. They've still got some work to do the Doughboys. On to the bottom of the 8th, 12-7 Greenville on the Flyboys Baseball Network. New reliever on for Johnson City as we begin the last of the 8th here at Pioneer Park. Flyboys leading the Doughboys 12-7. Looking to add some insurance. Before we go to the 9th, it's Ricky Odette, the sidewinder, on for Johnson City, making his 14th appearance of the season. Odette out of Lake Sumter Junior College will face the top of the Flyboys order. Reed Hare, Jace Patton, and Ezra McNaughton here. Odette on the season, 19 innings. He's allowed 21 earned in that time frame. It's an ERA just under 10, 9.95 for Ricky Odette. The pitch to Reed Hare in there on the outside part of the plate. Odette is a side armor, much lower release angle than anything else the Flyboys have seen so far tonight. Next pitch from Odette misses outside. It's 1-1. The Flyboys looking to sew up this home win here tonight. 1-1 to Hare, misses up and in. Greenville being out-hit in this game. It's very interesting. 11-5. Flyboys have made the most of a ton of walks in this game. Hare fouls it back. It's 2-2, or 1-2, I should say. Sometimes the scoreboard is tardy to the party. The book is closed on Brian Smith. 3 runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts. 2 strikes on Hare. Here it comes. Fouls it back. But Johnson City pitchers in this game, in addition to hitting a pair of batters, they have walked 17. That's 1 off a season high for Flyboys hitters. Now the pitch to Hare, foul back again. He stays alive. Ricky Odette in the Appy League for his 2nd summer. A native of Lafayette, Indiana is Ricky Odette, but he went to high school in Florida, which explains why I haven't heard of him in Indiana prep baseball circles. Because I'm pretty well versed, but I had not heard the name Ricky Odette before coming to the Appy League. The pitch to Hare, hit in the air to straightaway center. Caleb Gibson jogging in a few steps, waits on it, and makes the catch. Hare's gone. Base is empty, 1 gone in the last of the 8th. Flyboys leading 12-7. And here's Jace Patton. Patton 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored. He struck out 3 times and lined out to center as well. Odette, the sidewinder, looking for a 1-2-3 inning. The pitch. Breaking ball misses low and away. Johnson City has not retired the side in order once tonight. The closest the Doughboys got was the 4th inning. 1-0 to Patton, fouled back. It's 1-1. The closest Johnson City got was the 4th, when Ezra McNaughton got even Hansen for a solo homer, but Hansen retired the other 3 men harmlessly. Johnson City has yet to face the minimum in any inning in this game. 1-1. Patton hits it in the air, pretty well struck to right center field. Gibson hustling into the gap, makes the catch just shy of the warning track. Couple flyouts to center, and here's Ezra McNaughton. 12-7 Flyboys in the 8th. McNaughton, with that solo homer in the 4th, tied an Appy League single-season record with 12 bombs. If he homers again, he will stand alone atop the Appy League single-season record book. Right on left, see if Odette leaves one up. The pitch, swing and a miss. McNaughton hacking at a high fastball there. McNaughton's reached 4 times in this game. The homer, 3 walks, 2 RBIs, and a stolen base. The next pitch misses outside. Odette, with that sidearm release point, the velocity is not going to blow you away. It's the speed and deception and the movement as well. But he's only up to about 80 miles an hour. 1-1. McNaughton hits it foul past third base, 1-2. But McNaughton, another productive night at the plate. Even when teams don't pitch to him that much, he still finds ways to do damage. Infield shades him heavily to his pull side. 1-2. McNaughton foul tips it at home plate. Held onto by the catcher, Dupe, and that's the inning. On to the 9th we go. Flyboys go down in order, but they still lead 12-7. 3 outs left on the Flyboys Baseball Network. Last call for Johnson City. We're here in the top of inning number 9. Flyboys leading the Doughboys 12-7. Cameron Kim takes to the mound. He'll face Cameron Dubé, Logan Fife, and Dane Morrow. 7, 8, 9 due up for Johnson City. The pitch to Dubé, lined foul past first. Cameron Kim on the mound for the 2nd time in as many games. He's a position player pitching, but he's not lobbing it up there by any means. That fastball up there at 90 miles an hour. Here's the 0-1. Dubé takes low. Another heater at 90 from Kim. Kim has pitched for the Flyboys earlier this season as he misses somewhere. Looks like that was on the low outside corner. But it's 2-1 on Cameron Dubé. Miller faced one batter. He retired to a Wolfgram that was against Elizabethton on Sunday. And time called before the 2-1 pitch. Now we're ready. Here it comes. Dubé takes a fastball at the knees. 2-2. But Cameron Kim has been throwing in the bullpen on occasion for the Flyboys, so this isn't entirely unexpected. 2-2. And he fires. Dubé takes up and in, ball 3. Kim looking to avoid the leadoff walk. Here's the payoff. Dubé hits a high fly ball to deep left center field. Reed Hare sprinting over, calls off Grant Hunter and makes the catch. Dubé's gone. 2 outs left for Johnson City. Flyboys lead 12-5. And the batter is Logan Fife.
Number 68, Logan Fife.
Fife by far the most dangerous hitter facing the Flyboys in a Johnson City uniform. Greenville has held him 1 for 2. Had a sac fly in the 7th, but really that's it. A single and a hit by pitch as well. Right on right. The pitch from Kim. Fife hits it on the ground towards second base. Peyton Miller knocks it down, gets to his feet. The throw to first not in time, and it pulled Ezra McNaughton off the bag. Jack Wilson, I think, wants to talk to the field umpire, Will Evans. He was immediately coming out of the dugout to appeal that. Jack Wilson doesn't usually argue, but he's gesturing with his hands. The motion was that the throw pulled McNaughton off the base, and now the umpires are going to talk about it. It was a close play over there at first. I couldn't tell whether or not McNaughton held the bag. Jack Wilson might be trying to argue that McNaughton dragged his foot across the base and kept it on there as the throw beat Fife by at most half a step. So Will Evans and the plate umpire, Trey Neville, are talking about it. It was a hard-hit ground ball toward the hole, and the runner is safe. It's an infield hit for Logan Fife. At least it should be scored an infield hit because that ball was ticketed to right field. Here's Dane Morrow. And they charge Miller with a throwing error there. Interesting. I would have given him an infield hit, but either way, man at first, 1 gone in the 9th. Flyboys leading 12-7, looking to lock it down. Here's Dane Morrow, the pitch. Morrow takes a fastball for a strike. Right on the outside corner at 89 from Cameron Kim. Second error of the night for Flyboys defense. 0-1 on Morrow. Right on left. Here's the pitch. Morrow hits it towards second. Miller up with it to Inge for 1. On to first, and the Flyboys win. 4-6-3 double play. And Greenville wins the first regulation home game here at Pioneer Park since July 4th. Hard to believe the Flyboys had gone that long without winning a regulation home game, but that streak comes to a close as Greenville outslugs Johnson City here tonight. The Flyboys winning this game by a final score of 12-7. The Flyboys head to Johnson City to close the regular season tomorrow. That game will be underway at 7 o'clock. And then the Flyboys head to Kingsport on Thursday for the Appy League West Championship game against the Kingsport Axemen. Flyboys 12, Johnson City 7 here on this Tuesday evening. The Flyboys winning this one, they scored 5 runs in the second inning, and then they scored in every inning from the 3rd to the 7th, a 3-spot in the 7th inning, putting the game out of reach. The Flyboys winning this game despite being out-hit 11-5. But Greenville closes the home slate with a commanding 12-7 victory over Johnson City here tonight. We'll talk to you from TVA Credit Union Ballpark and what is hopefully the first of 2 trips there this week. The Flyboys close the regular season tomorrow against these Johnson City Doughboys. The season series now even at 3 games apiece. The Flyboys improve to 25-19 on the season, 11-11 at home, and Greenville drops Johnson City to 21-24 overall, 12-12 on the road. Thanks so much for tuning in to the last presentation of Flyboys baseball at Pioneer Park this season. I'm Nick Rodecap saying so long from Greenville. Flyboys winners over the Doughboys, 12-7 here on Tuesday evening.